Everything's mute.
And that's what I call an ice cream social.
And yeah, exactly. That is how we solved crime. Wasn't that
You're
good?
welcome, everybody. No more crime.
We solved the crime. I solved the crime. Did a business. Sorry about that. That's how long it takes my computer to do its business.
Have you considered
not streaming? Yes.
Have you considered changing your startup programs to be not everything on your computer?
You say that.
I do, yeah.
And then what else do you say?
I say that might help how quickly.
But what if I wanted them all to happen?
Well, clearly you do, and that's why you set it up that way. But
yeah.
it means it takes a long time for your pretty powerful PC to load up.
To be fair, a lot of that time was spent, for some reason, it refused to allow me to have...
I didn't want to see your face.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why that is.
Because you're a bold cunt.
I'm a bold cunt,
I
yeah.
heard that on the street.
Yeah, the street is correct.
He was still down there.
Yeah.
I don't think he was talking to you, he was just shouting at cars.
He's a fan, he's a fan. So, yeah. So it's my alt account that I have. So yeah, welcome back to you.
And to you.
We just stopped speaking as soon as the internet stopped.
Just stared in silence.
We just sat. Yeah, we did not talk about anything. So we've not missed anything.
That's true. We were having private chats. Private things.
Private genitals. We were just talking about genitals in general.
General genitals.
Yeah, is that where that comes from?
The least popular member of the army.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say like what were those? Oh crap! The little toys.
Small soldiers.
GI Joe. GI Joe. Yeah, General Genitals.
General Genitals and his privates. His platoon of privates.
his big cock car.
Oh, who needs subtlety?
Yeah,
you can say big cock.
Toys used to be great back in my day. Yeah. Before thingy gone mad, whatever gone mad.
Whatever gone mad.
Yeah. Political
correctness.
That's the one.
I was showing my English friends some Scottish stuff over Christmas and New Year. I might have told you this, but I showed them one of my favourite Scotch and Rye skits, which is a great example of how political correctness gone mad is. Like, we're old enough to know that this isn't a new thing, right? The whole, people call it cancel culture now, but it's the same argument that's been going on our entire lives and before that. And the Scotch and Rye, what you probably know is he's trying to tell a joke, and he's like, oh, there's these two Irish guys, right?
He gets drunker and drunker.
No, it's not the one where he gets drunker and drunker. He's just in a pub and he's gather around, I've got a joke. And he keeps saying, he's like, there's two Irish guys, and the two Irish guys come in, and he's like, what was that about the Irish? He's like, oh no, they weren't actually in the car anyway. They were just watching. So they were watching these two Mexicans, and then like Mexicans come in, and it just keeps on going. There's a great line where he's saying they were from the Swedish. They were Swedish guys. And there's something wrong, so the guy gets out to have a look, and there's a woman there in proper 80s feminist stereotype, very frumpy looking, and she goes, sexist? And I say, oh, what? It's like, it's sexist to assume that only a man can fix a problem with a car. And he's like, all right, there were women, Swedish women with blonde hair and big boobs. Is that better for you? And she goes, male chauvinist stereotype. And he goes, aye, there was two male chauvinist stereotypes driving down this road. And yes, it's a great, and the gag is him constantly changing it, but the punchline to the joke, in case you're wondering, is him saying, I think my indicator's broken, and his mate gets out and looks at it, and he goes, no, it's working, no, it's no, no, it's working, no, it's no.
Doesn't need no stereotypical.
Yeah. And no one laughs, and he's like, what's going on? The barman's like, some guy told it last night, but the way he told it was two Spanish hermaphrodite unicorns or something like that. Like, yeah. But yeah, that's where the political correctness got mad. It's always been a thing. People don't like saying sorry. I think that's what it comes down to. People want to be judged on their intentions over their actions, which makes perfect sense. But be cool.
Yeah.
Just be cool. I've never intended to upset anyone, but there's a reason I don't get drunk in public.
I thought you were going to say I get invited anywhere.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't get invited anywhere. No, I don't get like overly drunk when I'm out in a pub or a club situation, because I don't want the anxiety, the beer fear, the next day of like, oh, did I say something wrong? I'll get hammered at my house or here.
Oh, he said some terrible things to me.
No, I know I'm not a bad drunk, but I just feel more comfortable around people where there's unconditional love. Where, like, I know if I upset you, you would say to me the next day, hey, you said this and this upset me. I don't think this has ever happened, by the way. We've been friends for a long time, and like I say, I'm not a bad drunk. But I like knowing that if that were to happen, you'd be like, hey, you crossed the line there. Because you know me well enough to know that I would never intend it. So it would more be a PSA. It would be more like, hey, just so you know, you said this fucked up thing.
Last night you said turtles were stones.
Yeah.
They're not stones. Yeah. They're people in their own right.
And I have no problem owning up, accepting responsibility, even changing when need be. But I need someone to tell me. And I don't like that not everyone will. I don't like the passive-aggressive British sort of thing of they'll go and tell everyone else that you said something bad, but they won't tell you.
Well, I think we assume everyone's set in stone. So it's like, oh, that guy's that.
Yeah.
That guy's that, rather than... Because a lot of people are. Like, as you said, people get really defensive.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people at work and stuff who, my age, some younger, and if you call them out on something and be like, actually, what you just said, that was a bit... That's a young woman. That's a young woman you're talking about. You shouldn't be saying that. I'm like, no. Actually, I've got. Blah, blah, blah. And they get really defensive. So you're like, oh, I'll just fucking leave it, right?
Because they're worried you're judging them, so they try and stop you. But in actual fact, what they should do to get your respect is go, you're right. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. And knowing you, and certainly and I think most people,
that's when you punch him in the stomach.
Fair play. That's good. I don't know. I was embarrassingly old before I realized that a lot of people are uncomfortable with taking accountability. Because as someone who speaks a lot and is uninformed about most things, I'm often wrong and loudly. And I've never had a problem.
Nobody clip that. I don't even know if we're streaming right now.
But I've never had a problem acknowledging that, owning up to that, and it's... What? Have you broken it?
Almost. Now we're good, yeah.
Did you forget to press start streaming?
It's weird, isn't it, though, to think that some people... Like, again, this is very the pat on the back kind of, well done me, but I don't mean it in this way, but like sometimes when you say something... And then you just play it back and you're like, why did I say that? Or what am I like, just thinking about like the interaction and be like, did I come across as this? And I know that obviously your brain's working at that a million times.
Yeah.
But some people don't even think that at all. And then it just comes to defense.
I'll give you an example. Earlier today, so yeah, speaking of the way it'll be excruciating for me. I'll overthink it. So earlier today, an old workmate came in to work, and I was like, "Hey," and I was doing one of my fun bits I do.
I've seen your fun bits.
This is general genitals again. One of my fun bits that you will have experienced and other people will have is when someone says something pretty innocuous. Innocuous rift. And so in this example, they were like, "Oh, my friend from Hull," and I was like, "You don't have a friend from Hull." I'm like, because they'll argue, because it's such a silly thing for me to be like, "That's not true."
No one from Hull likes you.
And I was like, "There's no one's from Hull. It's not like a place where people live." Like, I'll just really enthusiastically defend a completely ridiculous point. And there was my friends from Hull, and I won't mention their name, but they mentioned their name, and I was like, she's not from Hull, she's lying to you. And my friend went, they, and I was like, that's not important right now, because
I'm denying the existence of Hull.
Exactly. So my point was that they're lying and the Hull doesn't exist. Not like so that's less important. But again, that's coming from someone who's absolutely fine with pronouns and all that stuff, and I hope that they know that about me.
Yeah, you're missing the joke.
Yeah, but instantly they went on a new joke, which was like, "Oh, we need to take his mental health thing away," because I wear like a mental health first aider. I wear someone with mental health over my shoulders all the time. No, I've got a lanyard that says mental health first aider on and stuff.
Like a mayor. You've got like a chain with a key on it.
And they're like, oh, like look at me, Miko denying pronouns and stuff. And I think, and I'm pretty confident, that was all just a little goof, and we were all having fun.
It was a reverse goof.
Yeah. They missed.
You don't exist. Hull doesn't exist. All right.
Yeah, they completely missed my joke, but they found their own one, and that's fine. And I was the butt of it, and I'm fine with that as well. But if we lived in a world where I knew for a fact that if I had actually upset her, or if she did think that I was, like didn't like pronouns or something like that, if I knew that she would tell me that, it would save me so much stress. Because then I would, but the fact that she hasn't said anything, I can rest easy going, it clearly wasn't an issue. But I can't. I can't rest easy, and it's still playing on my mind because there's a chance that she genuinely left that interaction thinking that I was being disrespectful and offensive. And obviously that wasn't my intention, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm not someone who cares about being judged by their intention. I don't mind being judged by my actions as long as I'm given a chance to explain them. That stuff drives me nuts. So,
well, that would be unfair of them because they were talking about someone you don't know.
It would be very unfair of them, I agree, but it doesn't change the fact that that might be the case. And it's a wild thing that people do. The one time I get very defensive is when people like imply that I'm being passive aggressive. Or I'll be like, are you sure you're okay? If I had a problem with you, I will tell you, because I don't keep that to myself. I act the way I wish the world would. Not all the time. Please don't act like me. That would drive me nuts. But at least in that respect, I think the world would be a better place if when we had an issue with someone, we told them so that we had a chance to amend our differences.
Do you think two of you would solve a problem or would cause more problems?
I think three of me would be an issue.
Right. Oh, three is the magic number.
Yeah, I think two of me would be dangerously, not dangerous, but like unstoppable. I think if I had another one of me too, because as you know, I like working with people.
Yeah.
I like being motivated and I like to motivate. So I think
here's what I was thinking though, is if say like, so there's a lot of horrible things going on in the world right now, so I don't want to do I
haven't read the paper in a while.
Paul Daniels is dead. He's been dead for decades.
Is that what people in Gaza are upset about?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's
the main thing. But like no, I was thinking in you in opposing sides, not working together. Well, obviously the idea is everyone works together, even if you're in opposing sides, to make sure that human people don't die. Human people, I said, as opposed to human other things. But if you say you're North Korea and South Korea, because that's a lol, isn't it? It's not a lol. That South Korea is lovely and amazing, and people in North Korea are also blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, if you had to go against yourself, yes, but were true of heart, but you had different goals. Do you think you would come together as a double Miko whammy, or would you self-destruct the universe because you guys wouldn't be able to kind of spoop? That's the technical term of politics. Spoop.
It's an interesting question.
Thank you very much. It probably could have been asked in a very more concise way.
Could have been a paragraph rather than 4 pages. Yeah. approach debates and differences, as long as I know the other person's being honest and I actually want to do it, I approach it from a very trying to understand their perspective and trying to find the common ground as quickly as possible, so we can sort of detail where we differ. If what often happens in debates is I will resort to mockery. Because most people aren't coming at it honestly, and I know that at the end of the day I'm articulate and relatively witty, so either I'm articulate enough and I have the information, in which case I can make my point better than you can, or I don't have the information and I can deflect with humour. But if it's a genuinely trying to come to an understanding, then I believe that people are reasonable. So if you're talking about another one of me, then I'd assume that they're coming at it with the same thing. And I think that we probably wouldn't agree, because I'm quite stubborn. So I don't know how likely we are to come to an agreement, but I think we'd come to a very respectful disagreement, if that makes sense. Then we come to the point where, like, I now understand where you're coming from, and you understand where I'm coming from, and I see exactly where we differ, but that is where we differ. And I'll be kinder to you now about it.
Well, then the crux of all political thing is the compromise. Would you be willing to be like, all right, you can have this, and you can have this?
I'd like to think I'm pretty good at compromise.
But with yourself?
Yeah, because one thing I find very motivating in life is helping other people. So even if it's someone that I'm opposed to, if I can find, when it comes to compromises, if I had a weakness as like a business negotiator, it would be that I would offer them a slightly better deal in order to make a deal happen. Because I want the deal more than I want to win it, if that makes sense. So I'd be like, hey, how about you get 55% and I get 45%, but then we call it quits and we stop this fighting. I would sort of open with that. And so if it was me against me, it probably would end up being 50-50, because then other me would fight back and be like, no. And then we'd have a fight about that. And I'm like, no, I insist that you take 55. We're like, no, I insist you take 55. And then we'd nuke each other.
Oh God, we've got like a new Eddie Murphy film.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? You would need to put yourself in the character of someone that would be confrontational in the first place.
Yeah, someone who would give a shit about anything.
Yeah.
I do give shits. I give lots of shits. Yeah, I don't know. I think. See, this is assuming that
you might be quicker to judge than me.
Yeah, I know.
Which might surprise people to hear me say, and you might disagree. But I think you'd be quicker to walk away from a situation because you didn't like that they disagreed with you.
I'm not sure about that. That's interesting though. But I'm thinking, we're assuming that I know that this person is another me.
No, I was going with the assumption that I didn't know that.
Right. Okay.
Well, we can play it that way. That's fine.
I'm a bit more. I'm quite paranoid. I'm very aware that I think so this is a weird thing. Like, I assume the best of people, but I also think the worst of them. In that, I know, isn't that strange?
You're so quirky.
Yeah, I know. I'm a cute little. I'm a little Pokemon.
I don't understand what you mean though.
I want everyone, and I assume, like, I'll sit there and then people will talk to me and then they'll leave, and then someone will be like, "Wow," I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "They just, oh wow." I'm like, "What?" I know they totally fucking dissed you, and I was like, "I did not pay. I didn't even occur to me." And they're like, "Oh yeah, see, when they said that," I was like, "Oh yeah, now that you've told me, I guess you could look at it like that. I just thought they were just in a bad mood and a little bit grumpy and nothing to do with me." I'm like that, but then also, from like a political point of view, like if I sit and someone's like, "Oh, someone wants to talk to you," I'm like, "All right, cool," and then I sit there for a day then that's where all the things come into. What are they going? What have I done? Who have they talked? Am I in trouble? Am I getting a raise? Am I a hero? Am I a villain? It's like suddenly all of these things happen in like a fantasist, I suppose. Like rather than like if something happens straight out of the bat, someone calls me a twat, I'm like, yeah, cool, yeah, I am. I'm like, oh, that was really rude. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It just called me a twat. That's fine. I don't care. But if someone goes, I'm going to speak to you later, that's where it all comes in. And then later they go, you're a twat. I'm like, ooh, I was right. You're a villain. I'm the villain.
What I got from that is you don't assume the best in people. You assume the worst in people, but you like to act as though you see the best in people in the hopes that you're wrong.
No, well, nah, I don't think that's what I was saying. I in the moment, I don't pay attention. Maybe I don't pay attention. Maybe that's it. No, but in the moment, I just assume everyone's having a moment.
Well, yeah, and that is one of your greatest strengths in life in general.
But if someone, if I think someone's has a thought process, then I'm assuming it's probably
right
against me.
What, like I had let's say I had a falling out. One of my oldest friends, I hardly speak to anymore, and we're civil now, but I don't know what I did to upset him. I mean, he's been friends with me for long enough that he knows. So he knows that whatever I said that upset him, I didn't intend to. And I've talked to him about this, but he's not as forthcoming as I am. And I've been like, hey. Give me the chance to apologize or change or make it right kind of thing, and he hasn't, and that's fine. That's his decision. But he's deliberately tortured me, the way I see it, because like he knows that by ghosting me or whatever, that's going to drive me insane. And I think that is like whatever I did, I didn't mean to do it. You meant to do your thing. You were trying to hurt me. That's like intention. There you say, like talking about it. But I think your ability to. If someone was really mean to you, you're so good at distancing yourself from that and realizing correctly that it probably has very little to do with you. And I think if you look at any Buddhist Zen monk things, they would give that same advice. But it's one of those things that's easier said than done, you know? And I've never met anyone that's even close to your ability to reason that and go, yeah, no, that's probably fine.
But the problem with that is when people actually mean it, they get really angry because they're like, did you not get my drift last time? I'm like, yeah, I'm just sitting here. Like, what? Say again. No,
it's like bullies. They talk about this in schools. Like, I got bullied a lot in school, and when someone punched me in front of everyone or tripped me up and everyone laughed, they weren't doing that to make me feel bad. They weren't doing that to make me cry behind the bike shed. They were doing that to make themselves feel better. Because some people see the world as a ladder of importance.
Well, hey, here's the thing. Bullying is just comedy done bad. Right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You're getting a laugh out of people, and you feel good about it, but it's not good. And bad comedy is just bullying, right? So it's...
I see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's... I believe that people are good, and I believe that it's very rare that someone deliberately tries to hurt someone. And even when they do try and hurt someone, it's usually because of an internal issue that they're having. And if we all understood that, then we'd give people the benefit of the doubt way more often. And in the rare occasions where we knew for a fact someone was trying to hurt us, we'd be able to dissociate from that and realize that that's their issue. Well, it's an issue that they're having, and it's not actually about me. And they're lashing out to make themselves feel better, feel like they've got some kind of control, rather than to hurt me. They don't care if they hurt me in the process, which is kind of messed up. but I'm the one that's in control of that. And yeah, and I find your ability to do that very inspiring. You're very enlightened in that sense. You're a moron in other senses. Wipe that smug look off your face.
Too late.
But yeah, no, that's definitely one of the things I admire about you.
Someone at work, apparently Chinese years have things associated to them. Did you know this?
You're talking about the lunar calendar. Yeah, Chinese New Year stuff. Yeah.
So this is the year of the dragon, which is a big ferocious beast.
It's cool year. What year are you?
Pig. And I don't know if I knew anything about this. This may be latent knowledge. You know how my brain is moosh. Like, there's a lot of things I used to know and I don't know anymore. But I was like, I was probably a pig, and they're like, oh no, you were. And then they read out what it was, and it was so accurate. It was ridiculous.
I love that. Like, all right, let's do that. Year of the pig. Personality,
because the negative ones were really accurate.
Do you know what what one I am?
I think we might have talked about this before. I want to say rat.
No, I'm a good one.
Rat's good though.
No, I'm a
rooster.
I
don't know what they are. I'm just making this up. Can you
salamander? I'm tiger.
Oh,
and you're the tiger.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's tiger and dragon at the top. And then you've got like snake, maybe ox, monkey. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like, do you mean that in like
cool
what do you think
ones.
are cool? Right, right. Not as in because they all have their own
of course. But like if you're just from a non-Chinese perspective, and you're just being like, that's a cool one to have. Dragon and tiger, pretty cool. And then you've got like snake, monkey, and then it starts getting subjective.
I think pigs are pretty cool.
Yes, so some people
I think people like the pigs.
Everyone likes pigs.
Everyone likes pigs.
The pig is the last animal in the Chinese zodiac. Just, you're never in a rush, are you? That makes sense.
This guy.
People born in the year of the pig are innocent and they enjoy happiness.
Alright, so that one's a bit inaccurate.
I'm just laughing at the vagueness of it, because all this horoscope stuff is often.
Do you not enjoy happiness? Is that not something you do?
It's so funny. People born in one of these years enjoy happiness and dislike sadness. They are laid back, caring, considerate, and kind. That's all very, very true.
The negatives, though, are the big ones.
Which makes them the best friends to have. I agree. Pound it.
I don't like pounding it, but I've done it.
You also don't like high fives or hugs, though, so I don't know how to physically interact with you.
Just send me a letter.
Unfortunately, no one is perfect. People born in this zodiac year are also immature,
yes,
simple-minded,
yes,
and not financially intelligent.
It's spot on, isn't it? The negatives are absolutely in there, but then I guess that's.
But then it does say that they can often be reckless and don't think before the act. I don't think that's you. That you're not.
I don't know.
Overly spontaneous. I don't think.
I bought that Hoover.
Wild man. Lock up your daughters. Though sometimes the zodiac year might appear to be very naive, but it is only a mask over their true ability. There you go.
All right, let's go for the tiger. Let's hear your negative. Just skip over the positives.
Yeah. Let's get right to the juicy stuff. All right. Let's go to a different website and see what this says.
Oh, a different website.
Or do you want the same one?
Well, I don't know. Like, they might have a completely different take on things.
Oh, wait, no, this isn't the same one. It's just the first link. It's different. Oh, but it's got more weaknesses, so you'll like this. Okay. Tiger personality and characteristics. Powerful, tough, dynamic, mighty. Tigers are accustomed inhabiting vast lands. Consequently, they have acute senses and sharp eyesight.
Wait, are they just...
This is just describing tigers.
Yeah, you got the Wikipedia of a tiger.
Okay. Strengths. Determined, confident, trustworthy, frank. I think all
You're
of them
very frank.
Yeah. listed them. The only one that you agreed with is the one that is also rude. Tiger personality is strong-willed. Once they make up their minds, they will not change it easily. They will never regret what they have said. That's definitely not accurate to me. They are born with stateliness, and I don't know what stateliness means.
Stateliness is fancy pants airs.
Right, okay, yeah. I don't have that. But confidence I do have. So they always impress people with an image of power and authority. Definitely not in the way that does, but I do leave a mark. There's very few people...
You do leave a mark. I need to clean it every time.
But yeah, if people that meet me rarely forget me. I definitely leave an impression, but I don't know if it's one of power and authority. They are frank in personality, willing to speak out their feelings so they can gain others' trust easily. Definitely true. They have difficulty accepting failures, so they push themselves quite hard to succeed. Definitely true. Full of sense of fairness and justice. Definitely true. They are very capable to straighten out others' problems warm-heartedly. Definitely true. All right, well, the more nitty-gritty stuff I pretty much agree with. Weaknesses. Talkative. Stubborn. Aggressive. Self-ego.
Self-ego. Is there other ego, other people's ego?
I'm very invested in
Elon Musk.
Sometimes Chinese zodiac tiger personality, great sense, is either too silent or too talkative. Way to hedge your bets there. They're overconfident in their capability, which makes it difficult to do well in teamwork situations. I don't think I'd agree with that. Most people probably don't agree with their weaknesses, though. But I think I work well in a team.
My weaknesses are spot on. That's that was a 4 for 4, I think. My confidence is something I've always found interesting, because I've often been accused in my life of being arrogant, and I've never agreed with that since being a teenager, basically onwards. And to this day, I don't. I think I talk about the things I'm good at a lot. I big up myself when I'm good at something, but I don't think I have misplaced confidence. No, but I think what that might be is you are also willing to go into conversations where you are wanting to be part of it, but you will be like, I don't know what this is, but I think you're wrong.
yeah, for sure.
So there's that.
That's just for the fun of conversation.
I just feel like I don't know what that.
But yeah, in actual, like, if there was a team situation, if we needed to build a boat to cross the river kind of thing, I'm not going to be like, everyone step back, I've got this. That to me is arrogance, thinking that you can do everything and do everything.
Bring in the Ark boat builder.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, where's the foundation?
I'm very aware of my weaknesses and shortcomings. I'm very willing to let someone, even if it's something I think I'm good at, if they think they're better at it, very willing to give them a go. They are anxious to achieve quick successes and get instant benefits, but they are usually frustrated by failures. That's again pretty generic thing. I guess in some ways, yeah.
Yeah, who wouldn't be frustrated by a failure?
Yeah, they love to win. That's definitely true. So they tend to argue with people.
Like, I hate winning.
Definitely true. Yeah,
it sucks.
They tend to argue with people even on trifles. This trifle is not good.
Wait, hold on. Is it you that's never had a trifle until you came to our...
I'd never had like a proper trifle. I've had like Iceland trifles, like, yeah.
To one of our Christmases.
Yeah, I'd proper trifle at Ross's house, and I'd never had.
So there's truth in that.
They lack romance and relationships. That's definitely not true. And like to control all affairs of the family. I'm drawn to strong-willed people, so that wouldn't work for me. You imagine me trying to control everything that Erin does. That just wouldn't go well for me.
Yeah, and also your family is whack.
Oh yeah, my family are wild people. I have no control there. So their married life can be mundane with strong self-egoism. They find it hard to make some true friends. And then it's got career advice for me and stuff. Best jobs for Tiger.
Now I'm just thinking of Salman Khan as Tiger.
Yeah. Tiger people like competitive work and they have acute senses and decisive minds. They can be relied on to give quick responses according to... I can respond quickly, but it won't be good. They cannot tolerate a stable occupation, for they seek challenges and like to come up with ideas. Therefore, the most suitable jobs for them are manager, politician, economist, police,
all right,
revolutionist.
Hold on. There's a lot of things going on there. Let's go back to the first bit, which was true, I think, to you.
Which bit?
Just the start, where it was like, you've done over 100 jobs.
They said they cannot tolerate a stable occupation.
You cannot tolerate.
I cannot tolerate a stable occupation.
This is the stablest. You've been the tolerantist that you've been. However, that personality to what they suggest goes, those aren't the same. Be a politician.
You can't tolerate a stable occupation. Manager, politician, economist, police, revolutionist, entrepreneur, as well as adventurer.
Classically, we love our police officers to change their minds instantly about what job they want to do.
I don't know how to find this. But someone did, is it astrology calculator? No, that's an ad. What is my spirit animal? I'll test this because
is that no? I don't know, because I've heard things that Native American, certain people don't like that kind of stuff. It's
just the phrase spirit animal kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's
sure, it depends who's done it and what's.
This is a website.
Because if I can
Western Zodiac, Chinese Zodiac, Native American Zodiac, and Celtic Zodiac. We can do the Celtic one.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're allowed to do that.
And my animal of choice would be what would my if I was an animal, I would like to be just a lizard.
Your birthday's not been yet, right? But it's coming up.
My birthday is not a bean?
Ross doesn't want me to know his birthday. I've known this man for nearly 20 years, and I still don't...
it's a secret. I don't like it.
For sure know his birthday. But I know roughly what it is. I have a guess, a date in mind that I think it's within like a couple of days of. Because I saw your driver's license like a decade ago, and I remember going, but I only saw it briefly, and yeah, you've never confirmed since. So I think... Do you mind if I give like a 30-day period that I think it's in?
I don't mind anything.
Will you confirm or deny?
Wait, now we're getting into some weeds here.
Right, okay.
It's more for the tax people, you know?
I think...
I'm joking.
I think that you are right on the cusp of these two things. So one of them is February 18th to March 17th. I think you're in there. But only just. Am I right?
I am a pig.
I'm
a pig.
Are you in that range?
That's a pig.
Give me a sign if you're in that range. Okay. You're a Celtic snake.
Yes.
Snake can be cool as a cucumber, but is always observing human nature and the world, trying to understand the questions we all ask.
What is snake?
Yeah, snakes make an excellent communicator in any form, be it writing, song, or lectures.
Lectures. the three forms.
Holy Trinity of communication.
Oh my god.
The most striking characteristic of snake is flexibility. They are adaptable within reason.
Let's not go crazy.
I'm a Taurus, and I'm also a Celtic bull, shockingly. The lovable bull is as stable as the day is long. In many ways, they are the knights who are always there for someone in need of protection or understanding. Do not try to fool a bull. They will see right through you and will tell you with.
They literally do it with a red thing.
Yeah,
like that's,
no, you
that's
shouldn't
the whole
do that.
thing. You shouldn't do that.
That's a Spanish bull, though, not a Celtic bull.
Oh right, of course. Yeah.
If you need to keep something secret, trust a bull.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Maybe it's this one. Try and find. There was one that someone did for me at work, and it was quite funny because it like you put in your, rather than it just being a range like that, like a horoscope, you would put in like your proper birthday, like day, month, and year, and it would give you like a specific answer. And like, so some people got like ant, and like some like my boss got like a dachshund. Oh no, a mini Doberman. So like really, really specific.
Those things kind of annoy me because it's like the telltale things that you did the test. It's like, is this actually accurate, or is this just all made up? Like, are you just doing the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, how many of them have they got? Because there's a lot of unique birthdays. I want to find it though, because I had a good one, and that was fun. I like having a good one. Oh, it might be this. Let's see. I'll put in mine, and if I get the same, then I know it's the same one. And then I'd like to know what yours is, because mine was pretty accurate, and I thought that was quite interesting. Oh, it wants to know my exact birth time.
Ooh. 12:01.
Oh.
Your mother's maiden name.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Have you ever had a birth chart made? No, I haven't. I don't think this is the same one.
Birth chart.
What topics have you been thinking about recently? Finances, career, lover, health. I've been thinking about everything, really.
Sounds like my friends at Scientology.com are recruiting you.
Which of the 4 elements match your personality? Fire, water, earth, or air? Which do you think matches my personality?
Instinctually?
Yeah.
Water.
Okay. Sad, I don't know. I take that as a compliment, though. You like water. Which of the following traits? Oh my god, no, there's too many questions. I'm done. I'm bored. No, you lost me. You had me. You lost me.
Like the river you've moved on.
Yeah. Anisha.
Because there's obviously a bit of everything there. You got a bit of fire, but I was like, nah, you're a move on kind of guy. That's you.
Yeah. I'm good at letting things go. Even though all of my star signs say I'm stubborn and cling on to everything.
The Klingons.
The Klingons. This is rubbish. I really want to find this. It's annoying me. You amuse yourself in the meantime.
Oh, I will. Oh, I didn't realize that this. I'm listening to music and nobody can hear it. It's great.
Oh, really?
There you go. I wanna know who Bob family is. This is a bit too loud. Yes, welcome back. I don't think anyone's here.
Find a website where I can get a message from an angel.
Ooh, and
that's pretty cool.
A real angel.
Yeah, that's pretty rad, right?
That sounds like it's a game breaker. That'll change my concept of reality. Is it like a cameo?
Hi Ross, it's your angel here.
Yeah, how you doing? Hope you well.
Thanks for your support.
It's been a difficult. COVID been difficult for us.
It's been busy up here.
Yeah, and then avian flu because we've got wings. It's been difficult. Oh look! Oh no! I got excited again. Who is the best angel?
Wow, Gabrielle,
Gary.
Vengaza. Gabrielle got all the hype, right? I was the one that was like, "Hey, Joe, what's up? Your sheep are missing."
So have you heard the theory about that? Okay, let's go deep theories here, like, because it's the internet. So this might even be Da Vinci Code level shite. It probably is, but there was a religious sect who named themselves these things, and then he came to her door. So in actual fact, it was just a guy.
Really?
Yeah.
That is.
It was just a guy, and I don't want to say the rest of the things because you can imply the other thing that appeared, and then she got pregnant.
Ah. You just
Anyway,
make yourself sad with your own story.
I did, yeah. Religion's great, isn't it? It's really fun. People fly around and go to heaven, and sometimes other things. It's great. It's just fun. It's just a fun laugh that we all have on this little world we call Earth.
What would be your first question to God?
To God?
Yeah.
My first question. Holy shit, that's a big question. That's great.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness. What would I ask God? I'd have to ruin it. I'd have to ruin it.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It would be. There's so many really important, incredible things to ask, like the concept, which we wouldn't be able to understand because that's what they say. It was like, oh, because that's what they asked. They're like, oh, why is this child died? What others have lived, horrible people have lived to 100 years old, and this child has died. All that kind of stuff. I'd be like, why do we need to shit? Why? And then he'd probably be like, because he's a smart arse, isn't he? He's a smart arse. He'd be like, well, keeps you humble, doesn't it? I don't know. What would you ask? I don't know. It's a crazy question.
What do you want from me?
Because I was assuming I wasn't at the gates of heaven, because I've done, I think, 7 or 8 out of
sins
of the sins.
Right.
I've pretty much.
There's only 7 of them, so if you've done 8, that's impressive.
I think wrath is the only one I haven't done, but I've coveted people. I've been greedy. I've been
slothed out your nut.
Heck yeah! So I've done all of them. So you know, I'm in that bag. So I'm meeting God before I go to hell. Apparently, there's levels of hell in heaven as well. By the way, just saying.
Which I think I've found that's the right year, right? What's the date range? Which one are you? This isn't a trap.
Oh, I'm a zebra.
Are you?
Yeah.
I thought you were a pufferfish. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm slightly off then. Yeah. Oh, so you're a zebra. That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
You don't like zebra?
I do like it. That's my strategy in Fall Guys when we've got the tail. Zebra strats.
Yeah.
Because if everyone's got tails and they're all moving in a herd.
I was talking on stream the other night about how I didn't know horses were real until I was like 22 or something.
Horses?
Yeah, but I knew zebras were real, but I didn't know horses were real. So there you go. Sincere, dependable, and a bit eccentric. All good so far?
I'm not sincere.
Those born under the sign of the zebra walk to their own beat. It's not that they try to be noticed, it's just that people can't help but notice them. Like the zebra of the animal kingdom, you may be familiar.
The thing we're talking about. I don't know why they had to say that.
Their authentic but unique way of being.
They're authentic. What animal is not authentic? It's like you look at a crocodile like you're a faker, mate. Get out of the water. Stand up.
Their authentic but unique way of being gives them a mysterious, attractive quality that is difficult to both understand and resist. Zebras are social creatures who typically have many acquaintances. Though they can be fairly quiet and reserved, they are actually excellent networkers. I don't know.
Who is this? Who's doing this?
This isn't you. They can simply walk politely through a room, introducing themselves, and have half the room wanting to find out more about them. This is very... I can see why people would read this and go, yeah, that's totally me. But it's not Ross.
It's definitely not me. I walk through a room and walk out the fire exit, and people are like, who the fuck was that?
You have trouble forming deep relationships because you spread yourself too thin, trying to keep too many friendships going at once.
Yes.
You simply run out of time to give to others.
Yes.
Yeah.
I give all my time to you. It's once a month.
See you once a month. Those born under this sign don't just know a lot of people, they also know a little bit about a lot of different things. Zebras follow what they are attracted to most, which means they will drop one project in favour of another one with little remorse. Should members of this sign find an interest that they want to stick with, it will most likely be something of an artistic, charitable, or social nature, or any of the other things that it could be. Yeah.
So, like, are these people going to wherever zebras are and looking at zebras with a notepad and being like, oh my god, look at that?
Don't read pufferfish because I thought you were
that.
pufferfish anyway. I think you might be lying about your birthday.
Oh, plot twist.
This might just be to keep me off knowing your birthday. You were like, oh, I'll go for the next one.
I'll go for the zebra.
Pufferfish is largely misunderstood. That goes for the animal.
I'm not missing
as well as the primal zodiac.
No,
sign.
we understand the pufferfish quite fine. If you annoy it, it puffs. There's no misunderstanding.
Oh, this isn't you either. Often seen as dangerous and unpredictable.
I am, yes, actually.
Oh, but pufferfish really just want to be left alone by people or fish that they don't know. That's not to say the members of this sign are not social. In fact, they strongly prefer being with friends and family over being alone. That's not true. No, we're off again. You're just a unique little animal, you.
A puffer zebra.
Do you know what mine was? You're not going to believe this because I was already Chinese zodiac. But in the primal zodiac, I'm a wolf. Pretty badass. But here's the kicker. I'm only like a little bit away from being a rhino. That's the one before me.
Oh,
So that's quite upsetting.
You want to be reborn so you can get that, right?
But I remember them reading out to me and thinking this was pretty accurate. Let's see. Like their animal namesake, you may be familiar, those born under the sign of the wolf are passionate, determined, and never back down from a fight. Though generally mild-mannered and even easygoing when things are going their way, members of this sign are very protective of themselves and the ones they love and will not let anyone intimidate or coerce them. They are generous, warm-hearted. Yes, objection?
Sorry, I just want to say, easygoing when things are going your way is the most generic rubbish.
Yeah, oh yeah, all of these are very astrology things, right? They're generous, warm-hearted, and perhaps a bit stubborn, though they hold their friends and family very dear. Wolves also have an independent nature that compels them to seek their own path in life.
Unlike the zebra, who fucking hates his friends and family.
The bit that they read that I definitely thought was wolves simultaneously seek security and adventure, two things that don't tend to coexist very well. That's definitely true of me. I like both of those things, and I do find it difficult to balance those things. But yeah, there you go. Found it. You're a zebra.
Well, we've learned a lot about ourselves.
Yeah. You're totally different from how I thought you were.
Yeah, haven't I?
I thought I knew you.
Yeah. I thought I knew you.
Turns out you're vastly different. You just have this ability to like walk through a room and everyone just wants to know more about
Everyone
you.
goes, who the hell was that?
Yeah.
But not in a way that's like,
Yeah, you're not asking for it.
like, can we get security
Yeah.
to go and follow him? Which is the way it is. Yeah. I'm a pretty powerful man, like much like a zebra.
Authentic, like a zebra.
What's that zebra film where the racehorse?
Racing Stripes or something
Racing
like that.
Stripes,
Right? Go
yeah.
Faster Stripes. I don't know.
I'm that one, and they were like, "That's too short, and it's not a horse." And they were like, "Well, that's the plot of the film, right?"
I've never seen it.
Yeah, they're like, "We've got this zebra, and it's like it's a little zebra," and they're like, "It's not a horse." And I'm like, "But I can ride it," and they're like, "Yeah, but it's not a horse." And they're like, I'm gonna ride it anyway. Fuck you, and they do, and it wins.
What?
And you're like, "Yes!"
That's the plot of that film.
Yeah. It's like, don't let the man tell you you're not a horse. It's a very powerful film.
That is great. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll need to check
It's
that
good.
out.
I think it's based on a true story. Because
Like Cool Runnings.
Well, just because horses and zebras exist, I think.
Yeah, I found out why I knew that zebras existed but not horses. I figured it out. It's because as a kid I used to love nature books, and so I knew a lot about animals.
Yes. No one talks about the
Yeah,
horse.
no one's like, oh, this month our specials on horses. So I knew about like salamanders and you know, weird animals that not everyone knows
that you
about.
wouldn't see in day to day.
Yeah, I knew all the different types of penguin and all that stuff. But yeah, no one ever mentioned horses, and I just thought they were. I'd heard of them, but I hadn't seen one, so I just thought that they were made up because it was always talked about like, oh, posh people with their horses, and like, you know, I thought that was just like a funny gag.
Horses.
Like rich people ride horses, so I was like, all right.
Horses actually, I get a bit nervous. Like I've not really met many, but
In your line of work.
Yeah, but I genuinely, because you know, I'm like you. We both love animals, and we think that we can, like, figure out an animal pretty quick, right? Whether it's be like, leave me alone, and you're like, right, cool. That
You're better with animals than I am. I'd say I'm pretty good with animals, but you're proper little woodland creature.
Yeah, like a wild animal. You're like,
I can
all right,
see
it
you
wants
going like that crazy bear guy. Like,
yeah. Oh, I'd love to be eaten by a bear.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't, because then the bear would get shot. But yeah, like but he was wrong, because he wanted to get involved and struggle to that, and
Yeah.
we're all friends. But like, actually, no, you need to be left alone.
Have you seen that? It reminded me of you in talking of bears and lunatics. I apparently this is a famous video, but my friend only showed me it like a week ago, of the guy in the Arctic in like a little observation cage, and a polar bear tries to eat him.
Oh no,
Have you seen this? We should pull this up and look, because it was
How distressing is it though?
terrifying. It depends.
Nobody dies.
No. It was like on BBC or something like that. Like it's
It's on the BBC. Nobody ever dies.
yeah. It's not like it's not going to be.
Some people are
TOS.
dead. Some people are alive.
I'm not telling you to look up a snuff film. It's it was just terrifying.
What am I looking at? Polar bear.
Polar bear attack nature journalist. That's probably what I type in. I'll be able to tell you if I see it.
Is it this one?
Yeah, that
looks like it.
looks like it. Yeah, BBC Earth.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause the music.
Press all
Do you
the
need to
buttons.
hear it or not?
No.
No. Okay. No. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see someone getting attacked by polar bear. Apparently, everyone lives.
He's fine. Yeah, he's not. He's in a protective case.
Everyone lives. Let me put this up a little bit. Ooh. I mean, they're
Yeah,
so
this
cool. Oh,
definitely-
look, it's
yeah.
a little. This is Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So he's like they're trying
Oh,
to
it's
like.
this boy. Yeah, I know.
I don't know who he is. He's a lunatic though. So he's like, oh, I can stay in here and I can observe the polar bear. Sorry, I'm talking over this guy. I should listen.
No, that's alright either. I don't know how loud he is. That's everything.
She's enormous.
There we go. That's fine. She's enormous.
She is enormous.
Really is why.
But the problem is that I don't like about this already. Hold on.
Yeah.
So these animals have specific predatory requirements, and they like using energy to try and get to him is wasting energy she could be using
In the
elsewhere.
wild, yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe afterwards, hopefully they maybe like
Feed it, hopefully.
But then that's really bad as well, because then every time she's a camera crew, she's going to come over.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. I don't approve of this at all.
Yeah.
I just like, we have drones now. Like there's no need for this at all.
Yeah.
And polar bears are the largest predator on the planet. Like they're the like land predator. Like they're huge. Like that's not even that big a one. She's like, she's enormous. She's not that big. I've seen polar bears in real life. They're bigger than that. Not like in the Arctic, but like in Roughshore Park in the Predator Park.
I've seen them in Ayrshire.
Yeah.
God, he's right here. Hey, bear.
However, I would love to be in that situation. Like I want to be in a shark cage, but again, I'm like, this is really important for this bear, right?
Information before it approaches, like it would when stalking a seal.
Oh, it looks so
My
cute.
scent is strongest at the weakest point, the door. Yeah, that door's not good.
Yeah. No. Fuck that. That's insane.
It's systematically trying from all angles.
Look at the size of that thing.
Get an appreciation for what this animal is. It is one of the most powerful animals on the planet, one of the most intimidating animals on the planet, and one of the few animals that actually see us as food.
All animals see you as
Bear's
food.
nose has led it
They're just
to
too
a
small.
Yeah.
You can sniff me, gosh, I could have actually touched its nose.
This is nuts.
Is that giving a little? She's feeling the pressure now, she can actually feel that perspex is flexing. She's trying to see if she can crawl through it, she's trying to see if she can bite through it. It's getting a little bit hairy in here. I can feel
A little bit hairy, aye.
I'd kind of love a little bit of a Jurassic Park raptor moment where it's just like unscrewing things.
Look at that. Like, fair play to him for being so calm in that situation.
Oh, not sure if I like that. Not sure if that's...
I mean, I hope he'd written a thing saying if it does get in, if the technology failed, don't shoot the bear, because that's what we do, right? As soon as someone eats a thing,
How
like,
dare you eat a person? Like,
yeah,
it was in a snack box in the Arctic.
I made myself a taco.
Brought me a picnic basket. Like,
Okay, don't go on top. On top's dangerous. Look, it's just towering above me. If I was to be standing... side
But yeah,
by
he is
side,
wasting her time where she could be actually hunting.
yeah.
I'd be about 7 feet tall. Oh, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
Yeah, they get to bigger than 7 feet on their hind legs.
Every time she pushes, every time she exerts a little bit of force, she's using up calories.
You want to cuddle though as well. You just want a little cuddle.
Is there anything worth using up energy for? Inside there is, definitely. Little old me.
Once it realizes it's too difficult to get in, the polar bear moves off.
He sounds a lot camper when he's not being attacked by a polar bear, doesn't he?
Definitely at this point.
Once it senses that it's too difficult to get in, it moves off.
This is closer to a polar bear than I ever imagined I'd ever get.
Yep. Absolutely insane.
That's not something I want to do again in a hurry. Definitely not.
And she's like, "Oh, come right."
Yeah.
Because apparently they're very fast as well.
I'd imagine so. I mean, most bears are, so yeah. Like, yeah, animals are amazing. I love big scary animals, but to get that close, that's
I'd like
the epitome
that.
of white people shit.
I'd
right
like
there.
that, but I'd be worrying that I'm ruining their life because
Yeah,
they've got better things to do.
yeah.
I think that's why I really, as I've said before, one of my bucket list things is to dive with sharks. Whether that be, I've already dived with sharks, but like more.
Not all of them.
yeah. I want all of them at once. I want to meet every shark, or maybe the shark cave with the great white or something. That would be kind of cool.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I just think they're just cool.
Yeah, but there's already video footage.
That's not.
I feel like if this was the other way around, you'd be talking me out of it. You'd be like, "Oh, that's not."
I wouldn't. No. I've always been a big boy.
Why do you want? Why sharks?
But why anything? Right.
Why anything? Why?
Tell me. I was about to say, tell me this, and I was about to tell you a thing.
Tell me this. When I was 6.
Riddle me this. No, the first time that we popped the beehive thing, so if anyone doesn't know, at work I'm getting to look after bees, which is really exciting. But the first time it happened and all these bees are in your face, and it was just so I mean, obviously it's not for everyone, but yeah. I was like, this is a different world. These guys don't give a fuck about everyone else.
No.
They're doing their own thing. They're looking at me. I'm chill. They're chill. Some of them are kind of like getting antsy. But that's the ants. That's the ants. So that's what I told them. I said, that's the ants.
That's not for you.
Get back in the bin. Yeah. But just to see an entire different world that's not a human world, it's really exciting. So that's why I love seeing wildlife in general, but like wolves, apex predators, sharks in their natural environment, and being able to go into their environment and being like, don't eat me, but do your thing. And seeing that is that's one of the things that actually makes me almost emotional. We've
talked about zoos before, because I think both of us are kind of conflicted. But I think you're more anti-zoo than I am. I think in general, I'm pro-zoo. I just have conditions. I'm pro-zoo, and I also have conditions, so we're the same. But I don't trust zoos, and you do, I think. I don't trust all zoos. I think that, like Edinburgh Zoo, for example, I think is a good zoo. Could it be better? Of course. But I think if you have to make compromises, if animals have to be in smaller cages than I'd like, there's a cut-off point, right? Where you're like, okay, this isn't great for the animal and that's sad, but the amount of kids that it's going to make into animal lovers that will, go on and help stop extinction and stuff like that, that is worth it? Well, question mark.
When we went to the zoo, and while I'm saying this, please reheat me. There was a few things where we went and we couldn't see anything. It was like Dilophosauruses from Jurassic Park. And that was good because that meant their environment was great, and they're like, they're sleeping, so fuck you, right? Yeah. They're not here to dance to your tune. And I was like, that's really good.
Yeah.
But the kids were like, okay. And and then you got to like a big rhino who couldn't hide.
Well, it could apparently, because the rest of the crew went to the rhinos and said that there weren't any.
Oh right.
They were there before us, and they were like, "Oh, the rhino's not there."
No, I was that there was someone was feeding it, because you can pay
for the experience.
Yeah, so there's a kid feeding the rhino. Yeah, and it was just before the chimps.
When I went, the rhinos were there. But before that, I'd been told that the rhinos weren't there, and I was like, "Oh, that's a shame," because obviously I love rhinos. But then by the time I got there, because we went through the penguins and up round to the rhinos.
The penguins were fascinating, weren't they?
But just before the penguins, we got split up, if you remember, and so some of them had found the rhino enclosure before that, and the rhinos must have been inside or something.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could look at the penguins for hours. Like the old monkey enclosure they had, that's they've moved, but if the penguins are on your left and the rhinos and stuff like straight ahead of you, they've still got like this sort of carved out mountain kind of thing, but it's empty at the moment. I can't remember what they said they're putting in there. But that was little cheeky monkeys for years, and that was I could watch them for hours. The same with the proper chimps, but they were terrifying.
No, I would say, and I think you agree with me here. I think chimpanzees should not be kept. I mean, they were. I think they looked well kept after, but that wasn't.
It was the best chimp enclosure I've ever seen. Like, they're state of the art.
Not enough. Yeah, they were clearly. There was a few of them that were angry, and they were like, "Oh, this one's happy, this one's sad." That you could read their little kind of profile, like their Tinder profiles is like, "This is an angry guy." Yeah, he's gonna clap at you, and
it was like, "Oh my god, the sound of that!" I thought it was a gunshot. Legitimately, we were walking. So they've got this big state of the art chimpanzee enclosure, and it's the most modern building in the zoo, and it's very cool. And there's like I say, I've been to a lot of zoos. It is far and away the best chimp enclosure I've ever seen. But it goes to show, like, these are very advanced animals, right? Reaching the Stone Age and stuff like that, and they're too smart, and it's just not big enough and cool enough for them, even though it's great. But yeah, as we were going along, basically, as you're coming up to it, there's a little pond. So there's like no real fence. There's a barrier that's like 4 foot tall, and then there's a little pond. Because apparently chimps can't swim because they're too muscular and heavy.
Absolute nonsense. Humans can swim. Yeah. Chimps will find a way.
Right. That was my thing. So they've got a little pond, but like I say, just like maybe 10 foot. Maybe 15 foot across from where you are. More importantly, coming down to the pond is a hill. And I firmly believe that if a chimp wanted to, it could run down there and leap over the water anyway and get there. And these guys were huge, some of them. So like, I always forget how big chimpanzees are. Because you see like the little ones that are used in movies and stuff. Nah, these were some alpha, terrifying, like, oh my, like, yeah. That would have no... Because even the small monkey were like, yeah, that could rip your face off, right? They're freakishly strong. These guys were human size. They were massive. And yeah, as we were coming up, there was a family looking across.
Middle-aged white men. They look...
Yeah. And as we were coming up, there's a family looking over the water, and I'm like, oh, we get to see the chimpanzees, and they're, I think it's like the alpha of the pack or whatever, or I think they've had an alpha for many years, and now one of the younger chimps has come to sexual maturity, and he's kind of taken over, and he is the one that does the clapping thing to shut the other chimps up. Like if he doesn't like the way they're behaving, he'll whoa, whoa, and thunderclap is the way to, like, I genuinely thought there was some sort of military thing going on because we're in Edinburgh.
A sonic boom.
Yeah, I thought someone was shooting a gun, and I was terrified anyway. And there was this like little family going like, "Look at the monkeys!" And then I saw it was one of the chimps doing that, staring at us across the water, slapping its hand so hard.
And I think that because I was there and I was like, I have to leave. Because it wasn't so much it was terrifying, but it was the fact that the family, it was like they're like, oh look, yeah, look, and it was
nutters.
Like, this is no, it wasn't the scary thing. It was like this really disrespectful. I just felt like here's this thing, this human,
chimpanzee,
this human animal. Being like, here's me, and this is my space, and then people were like, yeah, and you're like, nah. He said, move on. We move on. Let's be respectful of his choice.
And that's the thing as well. Like, there's loads of animals that I don't think are smart enough to understand all that. Right? There's loads of animals that I think will reach the other corner of their cage and go ooh, and completely forget where they've been. And they'll be perfectly happy. It might not be as far as they'd roam in the wild, but I think a lot of them will be content with that. Fucking speaking of zebras, they've got it made, right? They've got like an acre of land and stuff like that at the back. It's crazy. But the chimpanzees are really intelligent, and I'm with you. I was like, they know what's going on. Like,
they can see the disrespect.
Yeah, they might not understand capitalism and stuff, but they get that we've been put here and people are observing us.
Yeah.
And I don't some of the animals maybe get that, but I don't think any of them anywhere close to the level of the chimp.
It's like an old person being like, "Get out of here!" And then someone going, "Ha ha ha! Look at the old man!"
Yeah,
every day of your life.
Yeah,
they are. As soon as they get out, they're murdering everyone.
Oh yeah, and who can
justifiably,
blame them?
yeah.
So no, I did not stay there. As soon as I realized that sound came from an animal, that scared the shit out of me. I had no idea they could clap like that. That was insane. And then getting in, and they've got these amazing viewing so they're sort of inside areas, again very well equipped, and you can sort of like look in there really well without it disturbing them, because we're kind of above them, and it all seems really darkened and stuff in there to emulate the rainforest and stuff. So it's, again, very, very well done for what you're doing. I agree with you. I don't think chimps should be in that situation, but if they are going to be in that situation, that's the best I've seen. But looking at them up close and just seeing how huge they are. Well,
and this is going back to the Blackfish thing. I think I was speaking to, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the guys when we were at the zoo,
right?
Because you were all somewhere else, and we were looking at this. And someone was cleaning, so they had two on one on either side.
Mm-hmm.
So the chimps were all in one bit, and there was a woman cleaning the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what would happen if they accidentally lifted the thing? I was like, she'd probably get beaten to death, right? Because I don't think they're enjoying this.
Probably. It's hard to tell, right? It's hard to play psychologist with chimpanzees in that enclosure. Like,
it is hard. I've tried many times.
Because there's a very good chance, because again, they're very smart, so they probably know that they're fairly comfortable and they're well fed, and if anything, I think they'd probably be protective of her. I would guess that they wouldn't attack
Well,
her.
it'll be like Planet of the Apes. There'll be one who's like really pissed off that they've been abused. And then there'll be one who'll be like, nah, they've looked after us.
Well, yeah, again, I think it would come down to Big Clappy Boy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, there would be a lot of conflict.
I reckon, from what they said, and I trust their observations of him, he does that mainly to keep peace. Right? He's like, I'm the biggest and the strongest, stop fighting. Or I'll get involved. You don't want me to get involved because I'm the big dog, right?
It's weird. It's like prison. It just sounds like prison. It's like they're feeding us.
Yeah.
Stand down. Don't get in a fight.
I would imagine that they'll follow his lead, or that he'd stop them if they were doing something he didn't like. And I would guess that he's like, look, what's the point? We've got a good situation going here. Yes, I would rather be in the Congo, but we're not. And attacking that lady's not going to help. So yeah, I would guess that she'd probably be okay, but terrified, and it's definitely not worth finding out.
Yeah, well, I've got a button right here.
It's fascinating. Like I say, I've been to a couple of zoos that make me really sad, and I get really upset when animals are kept in bad conditions.
I don't think, from your argument, I don't think the likes of chimpanzees and whales are worth it.
No,
right?
There's certain things. Because I think there's a mystique, an aura. If you say like, we can't have take for example great white sharks, right? Great white sharks are villainized. More so than probably any other animal.
Thank you, George Lucas. He's Jewish. Sorry, that was from earlier.
That was a callback to irony.
Yes,
but this is a new stream now.
Yeah. Okay. No one's
okay.
here. So it's fine.
But yeah, the great white shark is very much villainized, and I understand why and stuff, but it is. And yet, and it's hunted, and people try and get it for its teeth and its skin and its oil and all that stuff, and yet they're not like dangerously endangered, right? And the reason is, for as many people who are scared and hate them, they have a lot of support from people. There's a lot of people that really, really love them and are fascinated by them. And I think one of the reasons for that is because there are no great whites in captivity. There's none.
Well, they can't. Yeah.
Yeah, every time we don't know why they can't. Did you know that? We don't know why it is, but they die in
they've
captivity.
tried, like, sharks, very, very difficult to keep.
Yeah. Like, every other kind of shark they've achieved, great white sharks just die, and we don't know why. They've tried everything. So my point is, I think that by not having some animals in captivity, I think that people will still get on board with protecting them. So things like chimpanzees, elephants, orcas, that kind of stuff, I think people can still get on board because there's a mysterious allure to the fact that these things are so special that we can't even take them out of their natural environment at all. It's not fair. They're magnificent. We should say, like, there's an aura about that to be like, this is a blue whale, right? You're like, that is a mysterious animal. There's and I think the chimps should definitely go to that simply for their intelligence, if nothing else. I think it's cruel, because even if it's a big thing, even in like game reserves where they've got them, even if they've got acres and acres to roam around in, I think they're smart enough to know, hey, we're not in the wild, we are captive. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that necessarily makes them miserable. I think some of them will be perfectly happy with that arrangement, but
that's the thing, yeah.
But they're aware of it, and like I say, I think most animals aren't aware of it. So there's two reasons for me to not keep animals in captivity. It's either because we can't do it safely, like whales. I think orcas shouldn't be in captivity, or because they're aware enough that that's what's going on, and that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, because then you get into that whole thing, like, because I would be in captivity. Like, see, if you said like you're not allowed to leave here, I'd be like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'd be in captivity.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine with it. But you would be like, I fucking want to do something else.
Yeah.
And all of those things.
But it's still messed up if someone's aware of it.
Just want to say, white sharks. We call them white sharks, not great whites, by the way.
That's a bit disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
The fine white shark.
They're on the top end of threatened.
Yeah, which is pretty
not endangered.
fine. Yeah,
but like arseholes like to kill them.
But that's what I mean. They're not like ants or something where there's billions of them, and people are trying to kill them, and a lot of people don't like them, and they're not in captivity, and yet they're very well protected because people are invested. And my point is that is a great example of how we can achieve that without having animals in captivity. However, I think it only works in tandem. I think the allure of and the mystique of, we can't have these animals in the zoo, only works if we've got other animals in the zoo. Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's got to be comparative.
Yeah, I like that.
So you go, we've got giraffes, but we can't have chimpanzees. Why?
Did you know?
And then you're like, that's fascinating.
You
Yeah.
probably knew this. The British Museum, the British London Zoo, was it, had an African man.
I've read about this like a long while ago, not like last year.
And did you know that he committed suicide?
I did not know that, but I'm not shocked.
Welcome to Ross's stream.
Yeah, that's awful, but I can see how that would happen.
Yeah. But anyway, animals are cool. And
animals are cool and we should protect them, and the best way to protect them is to get people to care about animals, and one of the most effective ways to get people to care about animals is zoos. But they should be carefully regulated, and there should be
no
standards.
No-go animals.
And absolutely there should be animals that you go, nah. Like, and I think we're figuring that out, right? Like when we were younger, there was a polar bear in Edinburgh Zoo, and I don't think that was done through, ill intent. But the polar bear got depressed, and we learned that and realized it and shipped it off somewhere else because it wasn't fair.
Yeah, it went up north. They just got more space. Yeah, I think it's still there. I think is it Kodak? Kodak.
Mercedes, I think was the original one. I don't know.
All right. There was one called Kodak because it was good.
Because they did have two for a while.
Yeah.
Mercedes was old though, so she's probably dead now. But yeah, I think the impact. Like I say, I went to the Rovdjur Park in Sweden, which is like a zoo for only carnivores and predators, and that's rad. And they've got two big polar bears in a huge enclosure. But when I went there the last time, one of them was just sitting up against the fence, like on its bum, just there, and it was like sitting down. It was 6 foot, like just sitting down. And I was like, holy moly! Like it was massive, and that's incredible. That has an impact on you more than watching that video that we watched or seeing pictures. Like to see something that bigger. Same with the grizzlies that they had, because the way the park's set out, you like see the smaller bears first, and you're like, oh, that's a big bear. And then the grizzlies come out and you're like, holy moly, that is a massive animal. They are so big and strong looking. You're like, you're the size of their paws, and you're like, yeah, that would just tear through me in a heartbeat. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then they've got lynxes, which scare me. Lynxes terrify me because they're like the smallest animal that I'm confident I'd have no chance against, kind of thing. Because they're smaller than Kira, but they can leap 6 foot in the air.
I feel like we keep talking about that. Like this is the cat dog scenario.
Yeah.
Mutt, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Mutt?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like cats will destroy, any kind of cat will destroy you more than a dog.
Yeah.
Like what a dog, like if it clamps on you,
yeah,
then you're done. If it's your face,
yeah.
But claw wise,
if I'm
got more
in the whole men talking about what animals they can be, and we always have the debate over, because I'm one of those guys that goes, I would if the challenge was get the biggest, scariest animal you could that you think you'd have a chance against, it'd be wolf. I don't think I've got a great chance, but I think I'd have a chance. I wouldn't come out of it unscathed, and in fact I'd probably lose an arm, but I'm sacrificing that arm to get the dub. Maybe
die afterwards.
Yeah.
Blood loss.
Yeah. But I understand how dogs work, and there's cats half the size of a wolf that I would not mess with. Like there's Scottish wild cats. Like there's some house cats that I'm like, I don't think, like, because they're so agile.
I love there's so many like articles that I see about Scottish Highland wild cats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just a cat.
Yeah.
And I don't think the people, like, because I don't trust, because I'm old. And there's so many spell mistakes and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I don't know if they know that that's just a picture of a cat. Or whether
I've seen a wild cat in the wild.
I don't think I would know, to be honest.
Because they look like they hate you.
That's a cat.
Yeah, that's true. But no, they're there's a confidence with them. They look like a house cat, but like one of those house cats you wouldn't go and pet in the street. You know, like some cats you see in the street and you're like, oh, pss, pss. And there's some cats you go like, all right, chief.
It's a big boy.
You're like, yeah. There's and wild cats are kind of like that. They look very confident, and I don't wish to. Was it in the Discord? I was talking about this recently. I grew up in a rough area, and I remember some like 10-year-old, 9-year-old, maybe 8, coming at me with
maybe 7. Who knows?
Like a child came at me with a 2x4, like a big chip of wood.
Oh,
and was like,
Jim. Wait, hold on. The Hacksaw Duggan.
Jim Duggan. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that is a wrestler.
Is that the person?
Yeah.
Is that the full? Did I get that right?
Yeah. Jim Duggan. Jim the Hacksaw Duggan. Very good.
I got a reference right. Sorry, carry on.
But yeah, no, this kid was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And my initial thought, because I was like 15 or something at the time, so I'm like twice the size of this kid. And my initial thought was, shut up. But I could see in his eyes that he was very confident. And I didn't know why, but I chose not to test it that day, and I ran away. And that's how I feel with wildcats. I'm like, I know in theory I should be able to beat you up. but you look real confident that you've got the upper hand, and I don't want to find out why, because you've got a knife. Would you rather fight a lynx or 500 midges in the height of summer? 500 midges, easy. Lynxes are terrifying. Lynxes are they're so pretty, they're so gorgeous. I love looking at them from a distance, pictures and that. But no, fighting one of them, good lord.
What's the outcome? Though, you see, you're assuming the outcome is a win.
What? No, not against the lynx, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I would do a lynx to die. I would not. I don't want 500 midges.
Oh, so you're thinking, how would you rather die? Is how you're saying?
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Right.
I'm reading. Yeah, I'm reading that as
oh yeah, so 500 midges is more like torture, like paper cuts. And
yeah,
that. Right. Yeah,
I'm not winning either of those scenarios, so I would like.
I can run away from 500 midges. I can't run away from a lynx. Right, I like the thing with like a lynx or an ocelot, like big cats of that size, like bigger than a house cat but smaller than like tigers and lions, because obviously with them you've got no chance. That's crazy. But these cats that, if I caught them, right, like if I got a hold of one, I could throw it or I could kick it if I landed a good punch. But this is very much puncher's chance. Do you know what I mean? Because they're so agile and so fast that, like, don't get me wrong, if I clocked a lynx with all my might in the noggin, I'd probably knock it the fuck out.
If you clocked a lynx in the noggin, what a strange bunch of words you put together. If I clocked a
Guy Ritchie.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, but like if I got it, I know that, like, yes, in theory that would win. Whereas like if I punch a wolf, that's not going to do anything, right? I get that, but I'm very confident I could punch a wolf. I don't think that would win the fight, but I know I could because they're not as agile. And the other thing is claws. People always forget claws, right? A wolf or other like big canines, they've got big, like Kira will scratch you just jumping up on you.
Yeah. There was a thing about that. Like, who were we talking about? I can't remember, but it was like the difference between dog claws and cat claws. Like, cats are like,
yeah,
and dogs are just like,
they're for
scrappy because the dog death bit is this, not that.
100%.
Whereas cats do that, and then constant
canines have got one weapon,
bleed damage,
and if you can neutralize that, or like I say, distract, like give it an arm. This is my left arm, go, and that's going to suck, but then it's got nothing. Then it's got nothing because it's preoccupied with that. Whereas you give a cat your arm, is then going to claw at you with 4 different limbs.
Arteries are going to come out.
That's absolutely insane. So like you say, it doesn't even need to be big enough to reach. Even if it's like one of those, I can't remember the name of them, but there's like a type of cat that some people have.
Malinky.
No, there's a type of cat that's bigger than a house cat that some people have, rich people have, but it's not as big as like a lynx. But it's long and it kind of looks like a little mini leopard.
Not an ocelot, is it an ocelot?
No, it's smaller than an ocelot. But anyway, like something like that's like maybe about this big, right? Like I could give that my arm and keep it away from my face. But yeah, you're right. Like it would dig up your fucking veins. Like no, I struggle when I'm trying to explain this to people that don't get it. As someone who's had both cats and dogs, I'm like, I'm much more wary of a house cat than I'm of a house dog. I can't read them as well, and I definitely can't react as fast. And I definitely can't counter as many tools as they have. That's it. Don't fight a car cat. The savannah, savannah cats. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Thank you, Matt.
I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back.
Okay,
but I'll put you on.
I think you're forgetting that a wolf has the bite force to rip off your leg with minimum force. It does. It does. Like I say, I'm not saying I would definitely win, but I'd fancy my chances more. If you can avoid that one weapon, like I've dealt with big dogs. As of you, right? Like you've got a big strong dog. I've got a very big strong dog, and does Kira have the ability to kill me? 100%. 100% she's big enough and strong enough and smart enough to do that. But I think I'd have a chance, because I've had to restrain her before. She's never been coming at me with lethal intent, obviously. But when she was a puppy and she didn't know how biting worked, she would like properly be like, "Stop it! I want to go and play with the dead bird." And like she'd try and bite me and stuff. And I know how to like hold down a big dog. I had to do it when I worked in the kennels, and we had like aggressive dogs that were trying to hurt you. And so I Wolf would be harder, but I think I'd have more of a chance. You can get a dog in a chokehold. You can't get a cat in a chokehold. Like that's all I'm saying. The moral of the story is not, can Miko fight a wolf, right? Because we're never going to prove that, and also it's not like a hill I'm going to die on. But the moral of the story is, I would rather fight a wolf than a cat half a wolf size. That's the moral of the story. Is cats are dangerous, and way more dangerous than people give them credit for. People think of tigers and lions, fair enough, but anything smaller than that, I don't think people show them the lethal respect that they deserve. I couldn't get Ghost Jaws off a street sandwich today as a oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to unclamp its jaws. But if I can avoid it or give it something to clamp onto, then that's it. Like they're not fast enough to like move to different areas, and so once they've got something, they'll hold on and not let go for sure. But yeah, if they've got my arm, if a wolf's got my arm, then I'm close enough to get his neck. Like that's what I'm saying. And my arm will be screwed. I'll be in a lot of pain, and I'll probably never use that arm again. But but if a cat had my arm and I went for his neck, it would go jump everywhere and claw my face off and eat my skin. Cats are scary. And also, like, taking it away from wild animals, and in fact, just domestically, we've domesticated dogs to the point where they're fucking broken, right? Both you and me, Mutt, we have dogs that come from working dogs, right? So they're still pretty wild, but they've been domesticated to work with humans. So they're still very intelligent, they're very independent, they need specific training, and they need a lot of attention, but they're smart and they're loyal. And some people have got like dogs that have been inbred for so long that they're barely animals, right? They're just plushy toys that have a heartbeat and cost a lot of money at the vet because they're ill. And it's awful, and I don't like it. But cats, we've barely domesticated cats. I don't think we've domesticated them at all. I think we found small enough cats and we offered them food, and they went, "Okay, I will live with this arrangement until I see fit otherwise." Like we can't train cats, and you could in theory train a cat. Of course you could. Of course you could. It's an animal. We can train any animal. You can train humans, right? Like just basic psychology, classical conditioning works on all animals, on all things. But we haven't done it with cats because we have come to an arrangement where we just let them do their thing.
Well, so my neighbor downstairs, sadly the cat is no longer with us, Snowy, but there's a whole process of getting the cat to poop on the toilet.
Oh yeah, I've seen people try and do that.
Yeah, she did it, and it worked for like a year or two, and then the cat just was like, "I'm not into it." It's so weird. Cats are just like, "I really love this," and they get into a thing, and then they go like, "I don't like that anymore."
Including people.
Yeah.
Like say, I think
that's why
Felix
I love cats.
Yeah,
I think I really love it.
Absolutely. There's a respect there of like, hey, I'm not going to get up in your shit.
Yeah.
Like let's say my cat Felix was very patient because my brother's a moron. Used to just pick her up whenever he wanted and stuff, and she'd be very patient. And she was very like affectionate when she wanted to be, and then sometimes she'd be like, "Ah, fuck off." Her favorite stereotypical cat thing was getting you to open the door so she could decide if she wanted to go outside. And she would just stand there for ages. She would like put one paw out and then look at it and be like, "It's a bit chilly. What do you think? Do you think it's scarf weather?" Like she would just, and then you would be like, "All right," and you close the door, and then she,
yeah, but like an absolute arsehole.
Yeah,
like, oh, you
like, all right,
really know.
Yeah, go out then. And you're like, no, actually, it's a bit chilly, isn't it? Yeah, she was bad for that. But yeah, I lived with that cat for 15 years, and I think I had a better read on her than I do on most cats. But even then, I didn't know. Every now and then when you rubbed her belly, she would go, I'm going to go for your arm. It was rarer than most cats, but every now and then she'd be like, I've decided that the touching is over and I don't have words, so I'm going to let you know firmly and immediately. And yeah, it's crazy. You've watched 8 episodes of Hannibal. Hannibal's a great show. Gillian Anderson, that Danish guy that I always go to call Mads Mikkelsen, but it's
Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah.
He used to be a man.
Hans Christian Andersen. He's phenomenal in it, and it's food porn as well. Have you watched Hannibal?
I've not, and you know me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of that sentence.
A zebra.
I am a zebra, and a pig.
And a pig.
Yeah, I'm a pig.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Chinese pig.
I'm a Chinese pig.
Primal zebra.
Primal zebra.
Yeah.
And a little bit.
And a Celtic snake.
I like to think a Celtic fruit.
You're a Celtic snake, a primal zebra, and a Chinese pig. That's your thing.
A little cheeky monkey.
And I'm a Celtic bull, a Chinese tiger, and a primal wolf. I've got cool animals, man.
Yeah, all right, come on,
my
calm
animals
down.
I
can't wait for these drugs to come in right now, because you are so cocky right now.
Is that what you think ADD medicine does? Humbles you.
Tame down the dragon. Just chill it out a little bit.
Makes me question if I'd eat a human leg if it was served with the right potatoes. Of course you would. Absolutely. Of course. It's just meat. It's just flesh.
So,
the only thing that stops us eating humans is societal norms, right? And I imagine there's other meat that tastes better, but like it's not going to be terrible.
Welcome me into the chat.
I've eaten dog. Sorry, you.
You've eaten dog?
Yeah.
Is Kira alright?
Yeah, Kira's fine.
She's just limping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bit of the rump.
Apparently South Korea are banning dog meat, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was really annoying, because the last festival that I work at a theatre. I'm a really important person, by the way. I didn't no, but I'm a scumbag who works at a theatre. And we had South Korean group in, and I was looking after a dog at stage door, and they all were fucking loving, like more than any other. They were like, "Oh my god, that was so beautiful."
There's the dog in the night thing, right? You had the dog there.
No. So yeah, they weren't the same. It was someone's dog.
Right.
I was looking at someone's dog at theatre.
Not a professional dog.
And people
an amateur dog.
And then people were like, "Oh, the Koreans." I bet they were like, "Oh, tasty."
Wow.
Like, yeah. And I was like, "No, they all fucking love the dog. Like,
yeah,
more than anyone else. They fucking love dogs." And they were showing me pictures of their own dogs. They were like, "Look, I loved," and
yeah, because there's in countries where people eat dogs or exterminate street dogs. There's still a difference between a pet and a feral wild animal, which is what you get in these places. Where I ate dog, I didn't know it was dog. Ross, I hope my dog eats you. What did you do?
I'm just saying. It was great. I met people from Korea who love dogs. And then now I've learned that politically they are banning dog meat in Korea.
I don't know what Ross is wrong. Miko. All right, yeah. I don't know why you said Ross. That's why I was.
So I was like, this makes sense to me, because I was because people of my own species, what species, humans. My people were like, oh, the Koreans were. They were like, no, they were the most loving of dogs that I've ever met. Like, they were showing me pictures of their own dogs. I was like, that's beautiful. That's so cute. So it's not.
I'm not trying to talk my way out of this. I assumed you wanted to know. I feel terrible.
Oh yeah, you ate a dog.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
I missed that. Sorry, I was talking about.
If I'm perfectly honest, I might have done it twice. But both times
same dog.
I didn't know. I waste not, want not, you know. No, it wasn't like I ordered it at a restaurant. It was once in the Caribbean. I was given a jerk stew thing, and then was told afterwards that it was part of a charity thing where they're getting rid of street dogs, but in order to not just be killing them, they're making use of it and making cheap food for the community.
They're killing them and then eating them.
Yeah. So as much as that sounds mental to us and is quite disturbing, it is a genuine charity that they run, that they're trying to do a good thing, because basically the people want to get, because they have street dogs, right? They have they're dangerous, and they're scavengers like raccoons are in America or whatever, and so people want rid of them, and so people are killing them, and so they're trying to be like, okay, we'll help cull the numbers, but we won't do it mindlessly, and we'll
was
we'll
this
make food
all
for
in the
poor
menu?
people.
Was that all?
This again, it wasn't like it was a bar rather than a restaurant, and it was the woman that came over and spoke to me afterwards, sort of explaining what it was.
Hey, I mean, I think pigs are incredibly intelligent and lovely and dog-like.
Yeah.
And I eat bacon all the time, so I can't. I want to be angry at you, but I can't, because I eat bacon and the cows and all the other animals.
If I was at a dinner table and I knew one dish was human arm and the other was dog, I'd take the arm. I think I probably would as well. I think I probably would as well, but I didn't know. And the other time when I was in Tanzania, I ate a lot of things that I didn't know what they were, and I know that they have street dogs as well, so I wouldn't be shocked if that was also used. It's possible that I've done it twice, but
here's the thing.
Neither time knowing.
Here's the thing. Based on this, apparently, assumptions, but very heavy assumptions. You know how pig meat is not allowed to be eaten?
I didn't know that. Oh, I've broken a lot of laws.
Well, for Jewish people.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which is the old school Bible.
Yeah.
Why would that be? Why would God do that?
Cloven hoofs.
Dirty cloven hoofs. Yes. Blah, 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 blah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to explain that to you. You studied religion. I know you.
Well, no, but
you asked a question.
One of the functional ideas of that would be people would sell meat at the side of a road, and you wouldn't know where it came from.
Right.
So this comes back to pirates, Long John Silver, and that apparently pig meat tastes too similar to human meat.
Oh yeah, that's why we're called the long pigs, right?
Long pigs, yes.
Long pig is human meat.
So that's why pig meat is not allowed, is because it might be humans.
So, yeah, I don't know, like
we taste like pigs.
I've eaten a lot of
Ava, how you doing?
Stuff. Hey,
33
thanks for the
months. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of. Me and Miko were cannibals. Well, oh yeah, that's right. When we worked in the dungeons together. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I've lived in a lot of strange places, and I've eaten a lot of stuff that was just given to me as food. Like, it wasn't like at a restaurant. It wasn't. I didn't really ask questions, so I genuinely wouldn't be shocked if it turned out that I'd eaten human. I don't think I have, but it wouldn't.
It's so weird.
It wouldn't shock me.
Sometimes I just sit there and someone shovels things into my mouth.
So the one time I was served iguana and I turned it down.
I love an iguana.
So in parts of the Caribbean, they have, like, similar to in Sweden, you can eat bear at certain times of year, right? Because they have hunting season, and so you can't kill bears all the time, but sometimes you can. And weirdly, they don't seem to eat wolf, but they also have the same things with wolf, right? They have wolf hunting seasons. But bear meat's delicious. Really, really nice. But when I was in I think it was Tobago, someone was like, hey, do you want to try iguana? And I'd already been warned that iguana meat was legal at certain times, but not at this time. It wasn't iguana season, so if you get offered iguana, say no, because it's illegal. So I'd been offered that, and then I went to another bar, and they had like special loaded fries or something like that, and then they brought them out, and they said, that's iguana, and I didn't eat it. But here's the thing: I would eat iguana if it wasn't illegal, and I felt like, yeah, if it was in season, and I felt like I knew enough that it was done within the rules. See, I'm not against. Like I say, I'm not against eating humans. See, I don't know.
When I die,
yeah, I will eat you.
Well, that was my question.
Malinky will get there first.
No. Let's assume that
Do you believe your cat's not going to eat you? If you die?
I love the idea that Miko's got the reality of the situation. I'm gonna die alone in my flat.
Yeah.
And the only person is my cat's gonna eat me to stay alive, and that's absolutely alive. But let's assuming that the sadness of that hasn't thing. Let's assume I die.
Yeah.
And I make I say, like, I want to make my meat into canapes at my funeral. So there'll be a little, I don't know what canapes are. Whereas Geordie, when you need
I was just going to say, we happen to know someone who's a good cook and has no morals, so I'd call Geordie. He'd absolutely do that.
I mean, obviously, now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds like a complete fucking nightmare. But would you like go a little tasty? I
probably if it was your wish to be made into that.
I do not wish that.
No, I know you don't. But I wouldn't like. I'm not eager to. But if you
would eat my
If your dying wish, you were like, I'd like you to taste my flesh, I would do it.
What a friend. And what a good guy. Thing. Brandon's back.
I'm a good guy. Welcome back, Brando.
I'm so sorry.
I just ate it. How have you had food poisoning? How have you not had food poisoning more often? I don't know, to be honest. I've only had food poisoning twice, and both were just from bad seafood and restaurants in Edinburgh kind of thing, which, considering the stuff I've eaten in other countries, is kind of wild. They go for the nose first. A little roast. Yeah, I don't know. Would you eat me if I'd said, hey, when I die, I want most of me to go into a tree. We know this, but I'd like you to take like a leg. And
whole leg?
Well, I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of people at my funeral.
No, do you know?
No, I don't mean just for you the whole leg. I just mean like similar, like me into little canapes.
Nah, I couldn't, because
you disrespect.
I would totally disrespect your death.
Wow.
And do you know what? I respect your life. No, I don't think, because I would just vomit instantly. That's the problem.
That's
like I would try.
Yeah. So you would try.
But I would know what's happening, and then I know that because I vomit like every morning, like dealing with my own things. I hate this.
I don't know what that means, but I love it.
I hate this. I can't deal with that.
I now am tempted to put this into my will.
just for me.
No, for everyone. It'd be an interesting human experiment, right? To be like, because when it comes down to it,
doesn't matter. Nothing matters, right?
I think people will firmly be on one side or the other. I think people will either be with me and they'll be like, yeah, I'll eat human as long as no one's suffering for it, and it's not like, I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to kill people and eat them.
Well, there's I think religious folks who would think that that's against
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There would be people on the other side that, for a variety of reasons, would be like, absolutely no, that's a line I won't cross. To me, that seems silly, but that's because I'm on the other side. I don't know. I just.
Emma.
So would I try anything once? I would not eat human. You would not eat human, but you would eat iguana. Humans over the line.
Are humans not iguanas?
Canapes are appetizers, yeah. Canapes is spelled with an O, not an I, Brando. I wouldn't normally correct that, but he's a smart man.
What's the difference? Can you explain in Twitch chat without...
The difference between an iguana and a human?
And a human, without boring me and without...
There's the kicker. There's the kicker. Which means you've got to do this in 4 words or less.
Yeah. Little sneaks.
Get your friend who will eat you. Absolutely. You want to grow into a tree? Yes, I would like to. When I die, I would like to be planted with a tree. I would like there to be a tree that has my essence. Because I think gravestones are depressing, and I think getting cremated is kind of lifeless and boring. And I think that being made into, I would like there to be something beautiful and living that people could go and have a nice time at if they wanted to. Climb me, or make out under me, or whatever. Like I like trees. I like nature. So yeah, I'd like to be made into a tree.
I was gonna be mean and funny, but I'm just gonna be mean because I can't be funny.
Yes, no, I'd like to be put, like, my ashes. So I would be cremated, but then my ashes put in with the soil and the seed, and be part of the tree. That's what I'd like. Or like hung in a tree to scare children. That's great. I'm sorry, I'm American. Yeah, you're a black American, so like hanging from trees to scare children. That's like you're bringing up old wounds, Brando. I'm offended on your behalf. Apologize to yourself immediately. Without boring you, sheesh, yeah. Probably like 3% DNA commonality between humans and iguanas. I mean, the difference is probably like 3%. Yeah, probably, but we're like really close to mushrooms and tomatoes and stuff, right? Like chickens are like 99% human DNA. So
Yeah.
like, that's stupid.
Yeah, bananas was the big thing, right? We're closest to bananas.
Bananas move. What about? Have we got any veggies? Oh, Mutt's in here. You're a veggie.
Malt.
Mutt. What about mushrooms though? Could there, like, 'cause I don't actually know. This is quite bad actually. I've known you for a long time. I don't know why you're a vegetarian.
I don't know why you.
No, because people have got different reasons, right? Some people do it because they don't want to cause pain. Some people do it because of the good of the earth, right? The CO2 emissions and stuff. Some people do it just because they think it's icky.
Some people are just arseholes.
Some vegetarians are just arseholes. You're right.
That's just the thing.
To be contrarian, there's lots of reasons that people are veggie or vegan. But I wish to ask any of you out there about mushrooms, because mushrooms are smart and they scare me. I don't eat mushrooms. I don't like them. But even if I did like them, I wouldn't eat them because they scare me. Because they communicate. And that's weird. That's weird.
Brandon, good joke. Thank you very much. So some of them are just arseholes. Brandon went, right, Ross is a vegetarian, saying Ross is an arsehole. You see? That's why it's good to read the chat as it happens, because that's a good joke.
I couldn't live without meat. That is factually inaccurate.
My parents, who Sally was here earlier, but yes. I'm sure she's gone to bed right now. But they mock me because I wanted to be a vegetarian when I was little, because I like. You
still do?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, but not enough to stop eating animals.
I'm just so unwell.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I don't think eating meat is what's keeping you alive.
No. People are like, oh yeah,
You
what
don't
you need
eat
to
good
do?
meat or anything. It's not like
No,
you're-
no, oh no. I microwave everything.
Yeah, your
and
pepperamis and ready.
I'm a little horrible scumbag, right? We all know it.
Yeah.
Like food wise, human wise, in every way possible.
terrible person.
But if I stopped, like if I took meat out of the thing, then I would literally just be buying lettuce and coming home and eating lettuce.
But that's a bad argument. I'm
it's
not
a
vegetarian.
terrible
I'm not here
argument.
to turn you veggie. But
I don't want to build. I don't want
You
to.
would have to. All you would have to
Yes.
do is Google how to eat, which you should do anyway because
I've
you
done
already
it, and they're
badly.
like, you need to do that, and then Jamie Oliver is like, oh, you just need to do like throwing these little nuts in there. I'm like, I don't care about the nuts.
You're lazy to a literally lethal level.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
It's so easy to get your basic nutrients. It's not difficult. You don't need to be a chef.
All right.
You don't even need an oven. It's very easy, and you definitely don't need meat. Have kidney beans. Like there's things that you can get that you can make up in a pot on your hob or in your microwave. It's so easy to eat better than you do. And I'm not a healthy eater, but I eat way better than you do. It's very, very, and you don't need meat to do it. You don't need meat. And it's not even like it's super expensive or difficult to come by now, especially for you because you don't like food, right? It's not like you're someone that like has steak every night and the idea of going away from that is terrifying because you don't eat good meat. So it's not going to make a difference to you if you have corn chicken bites instead of like fucking Co-op's chicken slices. It's going to be better for you and it's going to cost just the same.
I did have the Greg's steak bake vegan edition,
Right. Fake bake.
because I was like, what? It's all about the gravy, right? It's all about the
Yeah, it's the texture. Yeah. Was it rubbish?
No, it's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Both of them have been like the
The vegan sausage roll, I heard. great
Yeah,
things about,
that's better than their normal sausage roll. Absolutely
right.
fantastic.
So will you get that in future?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well,
Yeah.
like I'm not vegan or veggie because I don't think it helps. Ultimately, I don't think it's a long-term solution. That's my reasoning. But I respect people that are, and I ain't here to try and change anyone's mind or whatever else. I'm certainly not one of those people that goes, but what about bacon on every Twitter post about a veggie fucking recipe. But I think that by taking some vegan alternatives when you can does a lot of good, and it will do more good coming on because it drives the market. We live in a capitalist society as much as we all like to
We
complain
live in
about
a
it.
society.
I'm not a fan of what you just did. So we live in a capitalist world, and so we need to operate within those rules. Rather than complaining about it, we need to work with the system. And the system is where you spend your money is where more people will invest money because they want your money. And so the more that we buy vegan sausage rolls from Greg's, the more likely they are to make a vegan steak bake, which they've done. The more that is bought into, the more these options will come, and they will become more affordable because they're being more mass produced. Like, this isn't rocket science, and I wish more people understood that. Ross looks so happy. He's a happy chappy.
I'm so happy.
He's a happy boy. Look at him.
Happy boy.
If you look up endorphins in the dictionary, you see this guy just doing that face disturbingly. There's a lot of vegetarian options. That is true. Ross is honestly the first person I'd suspect if there was a mystery serial killer in the community. Yeah, he'd get away with it for quite a while, I think.
Who said that?
Ava.
All right.
Who's on to me?
First dead.
There's a lot of veggie options. Beans are great. Mushrooms are great. Steak is great. Wait, that's not a vegetable. Pizza is vegetarian. It can be. I mean, traditional pizza is. I eat a lot of vegan alternatives, but I also eat meat. I don't eat a lot of dairy other than cheese, because vegan cheese leaves a lot to be desired. They haven't caught up with cheese at all. But I'll eat vegan pepperoni, vegan chicken all day. Like they've pretty much nailed that. There's a company called This Isn't Chicken. I think they're called.
That's a very wise name.
Yeah.
This isn't the thing you wanted.
Yeah, This Isn't Chicken. And This Isn't Chicken wings are great.
Yeah.
Like we sell them at my work. They're
You
amazing.
wish you had this.
They're so good. They're so
You wish
good.
you had meat.
Hey, if you go to Brewdog this month, because it's Veganuary, and you get a meal, you can get vegan chicken wings. This Isn't Chicken. They're very, very good for 25p a wing. You can get 4 of them for £1 on the side.
That's almost a full.
They don't advertise this. I'm letting you know that that's the thing.
How
they
much?
Don't advertise it.
How much is a chicken?
They're absolutely running at a loss on that.
If I wanted to buy an actual chicken, like a live chicken,
yeah,
how much would that be?
£20. I don't know, something like that. That's my guess.
£20.
I have no idea. I don't know why he asked me.
Killing Ava would be more suspicious. Yes, first, but then we're
Only if you had a chance to tell everyone that you thought he was the killer. He gets in there first.
You had this idea ages ago of trying to do a thing like
murder mystery.
A murder mystery in our chat.
Yeah.
But we couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I've written a few murder mysteries on the back of that. And we talked about a few different ways. I think the best way would be to set the scene and to get people to call in on Discord if they wanted to ask questions, right? So everyone gets to call in and ask 3 questions to any of the characters, and you and me play all of the characters. So we've got a bunch of wigs, and because we've already got a bunch of hats and wigs and props and stuff, right? And we like doing voices and playing characters, so I think between the 2 of us we could do that. So people could ask us anything and gather their information, and then they could sort of send us their answers, and we'd give a prize to anyone that figured it out. So no, I think I know how we'd do it. I think it'd be fun. I think the next 24-hour stream, which would probably be like after summer maybe. I think we should do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I've never seen anyone else on Twitch doing it, and murder mysteries are very, very difficult to write and to control. And I think it'd be a fun challenge. It might go terribly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that's not the case. I also want to do a murder mystery D&D campaign, which I've been writing as well.
I'm up.
I think that would be really fun. Where are we at? So, it says a lot about me, but I selected actively avoid. I don't know what that means. I can't remember what we're talking about. That would be that. Sounds like a fun idea. You can have Discord, people be the characters. That we talked about this. The problem is some of you are better actors than others. The ability to act isn't actually the important thing. I don't know why I said that. That's just unnecessary shade. It's more about being able to react on the spot within the realms of the script. Like, I think people underestimate how hard that is to do, because you don't know what someone's going to ask you. So we could have Discord people be the characters in the play, because that's basically what a murder mystery comes down to, right? Is you've got a play, and then you've got interrogation, and then you've got solution. The play we could absolutely get people in on, but then in the interrogation part, where people were trying to get more information, we couldn't reliably use Discord people, because they might give things away or answer something that then doesn't make sense. They would start to riff. They'd take someone like Jordy. Jordy's very entertaining and very quick on his feet, but he gets carried away, and he would end up just telling his own story, and then it might contradict what the actual plot was.
Who did you describe there? What was
Jordy.
And what?
Hi, Ross. Ross has reached the whiskey limit.
Oh no! I'm doing a bit.
Oh right. Oh sorry. Right. Yeah. I thought you genuinely didn't.
Could you, Jordy? Who?
Jordy Fuckface.
And what was he doing? Why would you wouldn't?
He would get involved in his own story, and I don't know what he's doing, but I feel like it's a slight at me.
It's definitely not. No, I'm mocking Jordan, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. No, someone would be like, "Where were you when this was happening?" And he'd be like, so I was there, right? I was fighting the ninjas, right? You might not have known there was ninjas on the boat, but there was ninjas on the boat, and I was fighting, and then suddenly that like throws off the continuity of the story, and so that would be the danger of that. But I think it would be really fun to do a community murder mystery where people were involved. But I think we need to figure out that aspect of it. Either all the clues would need to be in the play aspect of it, or we would need to find a way for the interrogation to not include everyone. And then it becomes, who do you include? And that feels mean, so then it would just come down to me and Ross anyway. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And that works better because then they would only have limited info that they can divulge. Yeah, but that doesn't stop them improvising. That's what I'm saying. Like, we could feed them, here's the information that you have, but we can't control what the questions are going to be. And that then forces them to either say, I don't know, I haven't been given the answer to this, which breaks immersion and is rubbish, or it will force them to make it up on the spot, which, like I say, is a rarer skill than you might realise, and opens up the door to a lot of potential problems with making it make sense. Social deduction games have taught me I'm bad at this. That's good self-awareness, Ava. That's very good self-awareness. I've done a murder mystery before. I was the killer in a murder mystery called The Missing Dauphin, which we did at the hotel that I worked in.
The Missing Dolphin?
The Missing Dauphin. Dauphin. And the question part of it was the most fun, but the amount of training we had for it was insane. Like, we spent twice as much time working on the interrogation part as we did on the actual script and performance, because we were all professional actors. We all knew how to learn our lines and learn our placing and do that, and because that's defined, that's, you say this at that point, and we can all rely on each other to do that. That wasn't the hard part. The hard part was, you don't know what Mad Nancy in the back is going to ask you. And it could be very funny, it could be very... And sometimes it seems innocuous, right? They'll like... So, like, my character was really camp. So they would be like, are you a pofta? Or whatever. Like, they would just say things like that. And it would seem like it's...
Isn't that my dad?
Yeah, it's...
a Willy Woofter.
Yeah. And they're just being silly and having fun. But in playing along with that, you can accidentally sometimes divulge too much information, and someone else in the audience is going to be like, you said that you did this, and when you weren't meant to say that, and then they'll use that to sort of reason something else. So yeah, that's like I say, as someone who's been on that end of it, I'm aware of how unpredictable and complicated that aspect of it can be. So I'm wary of rushing into live streaming something like that. I'm good at talking about things as they happen, explaining things possibly too, but yeah, improv is not good for me. I think improv is one of those things that everyone should practice. I've said this to Joko a lot. I think Joko should do improv because Joko is someone who likes to be a contrarian without thinking through why they're arguing with you. They'll often be like, I disagree. You're like, why? I'm like, no. Whereas improv is all about yes and, as opposed to no but. And I think that's just a good life lesson in general. Mm-hmm. Whenever anyone says anything, learn how to build off that rather than cut it down.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, I'm trying to think about this.
This is Ross improvising.
Rational. Yeah.
Everyone's wait.
Come back. Wait. Come back in 4 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a zinger ready
there's
for
gonna
you.
There's gonna be. No, I think there's a lot of really clever people. Like, so the worst thing that anyone can ever say to you is that, you should do stand up, right? That's an insult.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really...
to clarify for other people, it's not, obviously it's not meant as an insult. from people. They're meaning it as a compliment.
But also, it's like, it doesn't, like, those people don't know
what stand-up is.
Yeah. So it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people in our Discord who should give it a shot.
You should give stand-up a shot.
Yeah.
To humble them, or because you think they'd be good at it.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Either or. But
I think there's a lot of people, like, I would say the funniest people in our Discord are people that I don't think should do stand-up. I think if I were to rank people in our community that I think would have the best chance at doing well in stand-up, I think it would surprise a lot of people. Because I don't think it would be the people that you instantly think of as the funniest, because a lot of the time, your mate John, who's really funny down the pub, will do shite at stand-up. We've seen this, right? That's not always who it is.
That was me. So all right, let's like fold that down, because I don't want to talk about things, but
I always wanted to be too scared. Here's what I'll say: anyone that is tempted to do it. Because what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is you go out there and you bomb, but you're bombing at an open mic night. Nobody cares, right? It's not going to matter. You don't need to tell anyone about it. You don't need people to come, or you can invite people to come to have a little bit of support and a friendly face. It's up to you. That's your personality and whatever your comfort zone is. But the worst that could possibly happen is you go out there and your jokes don't get the reaction that you were hoping they would. That's it. You move on. Everything's okay. Nothing bad happens. Both of us have experienced that. We've both done sets where it didn't go as well as you thought it would.
Yeah, and then you become an anemic, weird little skeleton man.
You were that beforehand.
Who lives
stand up.
Hey Peter, how you doing? Now I'm curious. You're quite right. It's not. There's a lot of very funny people. All of you included. See how I did that?
Yeah. Patronizing.
Patronizing. I'm a
You're meant to be an
person.
authentic zebra.
I'm getting cancelled right now for being patronizing. That's the thing. How you doing, Peter? How you? Create a ranking list. A ranking and number one.
Yeah, no, I won't do that because people will get offended. But
because of ranking.
Yeah.
People are offended.
People will be offended about being left off or being too low on it. Yeah, 100%. Don't rank.
Well, considering this
I like ranking things. You know this.
5 people in our Discord.
There's like 200 people in our Discord, Ross.
Nobody talks.
there's at least like 12 very active people. Even if you're just listing them, you're gonna cross some swords. No, it's not a bad idea. Why don't you think I'm funny? Yeah, straight away. Okay, Miko, Discord member tier list. Go, yeah. S tier, just my favorite people, just ranking who I like the best. It's the people that never post. They're my favorites. They don't cause any issues.
Me!
Yeah, Ross. Tier maker. No, my point is that the best comedians are often not the same people that you think of as being really funny. I'll give you an example. I think I was alright at stand-up, and I think I'm a pretty funny person, but those are different skills. So the people in my life that think of me as very funny, they didn't like my stand-up, right? My girlfriend and my best friends would come and they'd be like, I think you're funnier in real life. That was a feedback I got a lot from my closest people. But that's because they know me, and it's depending on the context and all that kind of stuff. Whereas on stage, you need to create all of that, so it's going to seem slightly inauthentic to people that know you in real life. So, like I say, they're different skills. I remember, I don't know if it was with you, but I did a show in Glasgow at the Stand, and one of the opening acts. It was his first time doing stand-up, and he was bombing quite badly. And again, people were nice, so it wasn't like people were throwing things and booing and stuff. It just wasn't getting. He was getting polite laughter, and he was self-aware enough to notice that, and he, like, his jokes were like good on paper. Yeah, I could see why he wrote them and why he thought that would work, and it's the kind of stuff that would work in the pub. Do you know what I mean? It was the kind of stuff that if someone said that off the cuff, you'd be like, that's really funny. But again, in stand-up, you're not saying it off the cuff unless you're Ross, because he didn't plan his sets. But most people aren't saying it off the cuff, so it just doesn't translate properly. So anyway, he's bombing really hard, and then at one point towards the end, where he realized he wasn't doing well, he said, everyone in the office said I was funny, and that killed. Like, the whole room erupted into laughter. It was just a great self-aware and unscripted moment, and it worked really, really well. So yeah, and I believe 100% that if you were just to hang out with that guy, he'd be hilarious. He had great charisma. He had a good storytelling tone. But yeah, it's just a different skill. And a lot of entertaining people need to humble themselves when it comes to the arts. A lot of people that are funny around their friends assume they can do stand-up. A lot of people that are good at stand-up assume they can MC. A lot of people that are good at MCing assume that they can act, like, etc., etc. And it's just not true. These are all individual and different skills. And some people can do a bunch of them, but most can't. Good old John 284 is the best Discord user. Yeah, absolutely. Damn right. This is great news. Only I find me funny. Perfect. Like, say, Pierre, if it's something that you want to try, like, I tried stand up because I wanted to say that I'd done it. I didn't really, like, I put a lot of effort into it because that's just the kind of person I am. I want to give my best.
I did the same, except without that one.
Yeah, he didn't try.
I didn't want to.
But he's
do
naturally funny, so it works. Whereas I have to work against the fact that I'm not naturally likable. Like, this sound, I'm not fishing, by the way, so please don't. But
You're such a lovely guy.
If Ross walks on stage, people are instantly warm to him. Just like if he walks in a room, like the majestic zebra you are. Whereas I don't have that. I have the opposite of that. I don't know why. I have tried to avoid it, but I don't have an instantly, like, oh, look at that guy. The only exceptions that I've ever had is in poetry after I became successful at it. And even then, it wasn't an instant thing. It was because people already had a preconceived notion of, oh, that's Miko. Like, they were excited to see me because they paid for the tickets, or I was headlining the show, or whatever else. Like, so then I've had where I've gone on stage and people have been like, yay! But that's because it was not instant. They'd already decided they liked me. So stand-up was very difficult for that. So I had to try hard. But the point is, I only did it to say that I'd done it, to tick it off the list so that I could tell people, hey, I've done stand-up, because I like having stories. But I enjoyed it, and I did quite well, and so I thought, I'll try this again. And I did some more, and some of them went well, and some of them didn't. I did some more, and eventually I realized that I wasn't motivated enough. I wasn't ever going to get.
Yeah, that was weird, because I was gonna. Interesting to hear the end of that, because it wasn't like I wasn't doing it because you were.
Yeah.
It was just that you didn't want it.
I saw the amount of effort it would take. I've always tried to be very self-aware. Like, we were talking about this earlier, the difference between confidence and arrogance, right?
Probably in the time where my computer crashed. So
yeah, but I'm confident but not arrogant. Like, I like being outward about what I'm good at, but I try to be at least very self-aware of where my holes are. And General Janet was back in the chat. So I knew with stand-up, like, okay, I need to get better at this, I need to get better at that. Some of these things I know how to do, some of these things I don't know how to do. And I realized that in order for me to keep progressing, I would need to put more work into it than I wanted to. So I stopped. Whereas poetry, similar thing. I only did a poetry slam to tick it off the list and say I've done a poetry slam, because I thought that would be a cool thing to say that I tried. And similar to stand-up, it went quite well, and I thought I can do better. So I did. And that continued. Unlike stand-up, with poetry, I could always see what I needed to improve on, and I enjoyed the process of getting better more than I did with stand-up. So with stand-up, it felt kind of clinical, and it kind of took the soul out of it for me. Whereas poetry felt like I was... Because with stand-up, you're only trying to get laughs, right? And maybe you're trying to make a point or whatever, but like it was mostly, it was a very like binary thing. Like they're laughing or they're not. Whereas with poetry, you can do so much more. Like you can really, really affect someone. And I found that incredibly inspiring and motivating to be like, okay, if I said this line in this way, it'll get a laugh, but if I say it in this way, it won't. And if I say it in this way, I can make people cry, but if I don't have these words before it, it won't make people cry. It'll fall flat. And that the science of that, the creative journey and challenge of trying to make every word feel as impactful as possible, to this day still really excites me. How to get the most out of your work. So what I'm saying is try stand-up, because you might find stand-up like I did poetry. You might find it something you really enjoy getting better at, and it might become a massive part of your life. And if it doesn't, who cares? Like nothing changes. Nothing changes.
You'll become like me, a little worm.
Yeah, like Ross didn't like stand-up. It hasn't like no one took his house from him or anything like that. Like it was just he decided it's...
No one remembers me. No one goes and go like, "Oh, you were the worst thing."
No, you were definitely not the worst thing.
Someone did say...
I saw you... We gigged together at least 3 times. And I saw you bomb for the first half of one set. And then you saw a guy in the audience with a Batman t-shirt. And you got distracted. And you started talking about Batman. And then everyone got on board.
I don't remember any of that.
The first 2-3 minutes of your set were going really bad.
5 minutes.
Yeah. So the first half of it was going real bad, and then suddenly you because all of your stuff was really off the cuff. You had that great bit about your dad being in a submarine while a porn movie was being shot.
That's true. That's all true.
That was great. That was a great bit, and that absolutely killed. And to this day, I'm jealous of Ross's ability to go out with no plan and be funnier than I was with months of preparation. Like, that makes me angry.
Do you know what's going to hurt, though, is nobody's going to be here, but if they are, they'll be like, well, I wish they did that in this.
Oh, they want you to do your stand-up set.
Yeah, if it'll just be be funny, be entertaining. I can't. I'm sorry.
I think people are laughing at us right now. If that makes you feel better.
I don't think so. I think this is
but humor is also subjective for sure. Some people are just funnier when they can be reactive. Absolutely. There's lots of comedians who are great writers and not good on the spot, and vice versa, right? We've talked about this before with panel shows. I think Bill Bailey, Noel Fielding, these guys are very, very good on panel shows, but their stand-up is not as good as someone like Dylan Moran, who doesn't do panel shows because he knows he's not good at them.
He'd be great at it because all you have to do is be you, right?
I'm sure he'd do fine, but I think he's got a standard for himself of he wants to... He would like to word his jokes the best way possible. So he'd rather take a year and carve them out. Whereas some people don't. I think it's about effort, and I suppose someone like No Fielding doesn't seem to ever put that much effort into it, and that's why. Oh, you closing your camera?
No, I'm not closing it. I'm putting it on because I'm disgusted.
Feel like music can be the same thing, just instead of words, you have wobbly air. I don't understand music. How it works. We were talking about this earlier as well. It's go and try it. Music's a fascinating thing, because I've had a lot of friends that are very good singers or songwriters, and they're terrified. Excuse me. Actually, terrified of going to an open mic or whatever in case they mess up, in case they're not perfect. But no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's how you get better. And you need to go out there and do it. I had a friend who was really, really good, but he just kept on being like, oh, I need more singing lessons. I need more singing lessons. I'm like, you're a good singer. What are you talking about? Just going there. No, I need more singing lessons. He was just putting obstacles in his own way to justify his lack of action, basically. He was terrified and he couldn't accept the fact that he was just terrified. So he had to come up with excuses justifying it. That's my interpretation, at least. That's always been my thing of why I don't want to record and play in front of people. I didn't know that about you, so I'm sorry if that felt pointed. But do it. Record it. Like, if you want baby steps, record and send it to me. What am I gonna say? And you can even tell me beforehand if you want me to be really gentle or really harsh. Like, let me set up for it. Like, I'm assuming you're an incredibly technical guitarist based on the people that you listen to, right? If all you can play is Wonderwall, you're probably not listening to Polyphoria or Dragon Force or whatever.
It's my Wonderwall.
Thank you.
Okay.
So do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I work in schools and with corporations about public speaking and fear of rejection and public performance and stuff, because it's the biggest fear in the world, right? More than spiders, more than anything else, the most common fear in the world is public speaking, and I help people with that. And I'm very good at the technical details of what makes you more comfortable in public speaking. This is something I know a lot about. But when it comes to performance of other types, such as music, I don't know as much. I don't have as many tips. And I'm curious as to what it is that holds you back. What it is that what are you afraid of? Because that's the key thing. Right? The key thing with almost any fear is saying, what are you afraid of? And then when you say it out loud, you realize the worst case scenario isn't actually that bad and everything will be okay. So if we agree on that and we've got that out of the way, then we need to figure out what else is holding you back. And it's usually then more psychological, right? It's usually then more about, oh, I don't want to go out and do it because if I do it well, people are going to expect more of me and then I'm going to have to work harder on it. Or it's you find that deep down you're quite a judgmental person, and if anyone played a note wrong, you would be like, you're not very good. And so you're worried that other people would do that to you. Like, there's, like I say, there's the basic fear of the worst case scenario. Then you get that out of the way. And then there's the secondary fear of, I'm not good at this, which is where public speaking is such a big thing, because most people at some point of their lives are asked to do public speaking, and most people have not been trained in public speaking. So then that's where I come in. I can help give people the tips and tricks to make them a better public speaker, which will hopefully give them the confidence to do it well. But then when you've got something like music, where that's usually not the case, right? That secondary stage isn't usually there. Most musicians are confident that they know how to play their shit. So they're not looking for tips and tricks of how to be better. They're either afraid in general of worst case scenario, or there's deeper psychological things. And so that's probably what we're getting to, which is a public Twitch chat is probably not the place to do that. But if you want to DM me and you want to talk about this is something that I've dealt with professionally. So I'd be happy to talk to you about it, because you're a pal, and I think it's a tragedy if you're wanting to make art for others and then not sharing it with others. And it's always been my thing of, well, I don't want to record. Yeah. Sorry, I thought that was a new comment. It's not.
Go fuck yourselves. I'm joking. That was.
You didn't mean that.
Yeah, no, of course not. Yeah.
You just said a mean thing.
I said a mean thing because I thought it would be funny.
Where are you at with your creativity and...
I hate creativity.
That's not true.
I do. I
so
genuinely
let's
do.
get to the...
Other people's stuff is great. I don't like it.
Do you resent the fact that you're creatively minded? Is this where you've gotten to? because you are creative. You can't. You're
no,
never gonna be able to
I've
stop
killed it.
that.
It's dead. It's dead to me. It's dead to me. I
You're
can't.
living in
like
denial.
I'm getting a week off.
Uh-huh.
This week I'm getting a week off. I'm gonna try and. Like I've literally not drawn a thing.
Yeah, but that's for some deep psychological shit. Which, again, we don't need to get into publicly. But that's your you gotta change the fact that you're creatively minded. That's you being being with your own issues.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much for bringing up my own issues. Yeah. Hello, my name is Ross. I have issues. Thank you for being on Twitch.
We don't need to get into that, but you're a fascinating example. This might help other people watching. It might be helpful to other people.
It won't help anybody.
Right, well, now you're just being a negative Nancy.
I am a negative Nancy.
Right.
Any negative Nancy's?
Sharing our stories can help other people. Ross is a very, very talented and very creative person, as I'm sure you're all aware. And it comes somewhat naturally to him, which obviously makes people like me very angry. And he doesn't like doing it. And we don't know the reasons, and we don't need to get into them because this is public and it's none of your business. Shut up. But you've gotten, over the years that I've known you, you've gotten more and more reluctant to do creative things. Mm-hmm. And I think it might be helpful for people to know that, because it's normal. You're not the only one that's done that.
I'm so tired.
Yeah. But yeah, what is that? Like, yeah, again, we'll start speaking hypothetically because I want to put this spotlight on it. But there could be many reasons if you feel like that. It could be that you're tired. It could be that you're worried about expectation. It could be that you're worried. A lot of people don't finish their first book because they're worried about the stress of writing a sequel. That's just the truth of it, right? That's not everyone, but that's one of the many explanations that can come from that. So yeah, do your things. Do your things, especially if you're not as old and given up as this motherfucker. Then go. If you're like, hey, I'd like to try stand up. Do it. It's not going to just happen. No one's going to come up to you and be like, hey, do you want to perform stand up? You got to do it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go fuck myself. Well, I don't know what that's in reference to. Yeah, do that. Go fuck yourself, peeps.
Piddling Pete.
Did not mean to spell cluck. I'm not a negative Nancy, but I'm a piddling Pete. That'll happen. What is it? What are you? What's your thing with stand up? Why aren't you doing it? There's open mic nights. There's even big ones. Like you say, you can. I'm talking to Peter.
I was like,
you should try stand up.
We've already been there. we've gone through this.
Let's go back to 2011.
Yeah. Pete's a really funny guy, right?
Yeah, Pete's very funny.
Yeah.
And again, like, I've no idea how anyone would do stand up. You can't know, because like I say, it's a different skill. I know if you go up there and just act the way that you do, that makes me laugh, that probably won't translate well to stage. I know that. But I don't know you or anyone else's ability to make that adjustment. I have my guesses. Like, say I could make my tier list, but they're just guesses at the end of the day.
Well, all right. Alt take. I did it. I did it for a year. I think I did 12. I think like the stand is an incredible. By the way, we need to the stand is a huge comedy club in Glasgow and in Edinburgh. They get big comedians. I think they've got somewhere down in
I think they've got one in Newcastle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael
Fucking
McIntyre,
brilliant.
Frankie Boyle, like proper A-list famous comedians will go and do their test sets at the stand.
Yeah.
And it's always packed. And they do an open mic night once a week that you can just apply for.
You can do it, and
you just send them an email, and
they'll let you in.
They can. Yeah.
And I think I did 12.
And if you do bad, they won't invite you back, so you don't get to do 12, for example, if you suck. But if you suck, you'll probably know, and you probably won't want to go back anyway. but yeah, that's a way that you can do it in front of a. And I recommend doing it that way because doing it in a pub in front of 4 people is much harder and will give you less realistic feedback. Whereas if you do it in a comedy club that's packed to the brim, you'll get a very fair and realistic feedback of whether or not you were funny. Yeah.
Everyone hated me.
That's not remotely true. You don't get 12 gigs from everyone hating you.
Well, no,
they don't invite you back.
They did. I kept
times.
changing my name.
The Voxel was reference to the earlier joke he's made. I realise now it reads bad later. My bad. You still haven't told me what the joke was, so I don't know. I would just take your word for it. But yeah, do it. Look up. I think they called it Red Raw. I don't know if they still do. But look up The Stand. And yeah, send them an email. There's also in Edinburgh, there's now another great comedy club that does really well called Monkey Barrel. And they do an open mic night as well. So yeah, like, get in touch with these places and sign up. Like you say, the first gig you do probably won't go great, but as long as you're not awful,
you're part of a
they'll
thing.
give you another chance because they're not expecting anyone to go out and fucking tear the roof off.
The thing is, everyone who's in the audience pays £2. It's £2, so they don't.
Cheap night.
They don't care. Well, they do care. Like there's
they've got a professional MC in between each of the comedians, and they'll have a professional headliner, right? So the audience are going to be entertained anyway. Even if your 5 minutes stink it up, the MC is going to come back on and get the mood going again. And at the end of the night, there will be a professional comic that is going to come on and do really well. And that's the thing with also, you're unlikely to be the best, but you're also unlikely to be the worst, right? There's some stinkers that go on.
There's going to be people like me there. It's going to
this guy
creep in and be like,
stop with your self-deprecation.
Hey
Stop
guys,
he was very successful.
We're all gonna die.
You never did that. You never really got morbid in your.
I know. I never got to that point.
Yeah,
and that's why I failed.
Right, you thought if you went more morbid.
Yeah, would I lie to you?
Stop saying failed. You didn't. Why have you created this alternate reality where you stopped doing stand-up because you were terrible and everyone hated you? Why have you done this?
I mean,
what is the purpose?
That's pretty much it.
Sir, this is absolutely not it. If I wasn't here, you would get away with telling this fake story.
If you weren't here, by the way, this is the... Actually,
you wouldn't be here either.
Actually, hold on. Actually, I'm going big. I'm going big on this.
Oh.
One of the worst things I think
the worst things about you
ever done to me.
Oh no. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh no. What are the worst things I've ever done to you? Is this the time and the place? I'm so sorry. Oh, you've zoomed in on me. Great. That's cool.
We're gonna do it because it's intense.
Oh my god.
You.
What?
Throughout this experience.
Yeah. Well, your stand-up experience.
No, it's got nothing to do with that.
Okay.
You have made people think that I have a weird private school education.
Where's this come from?
And it really annoys me. You've done it constantly. little jibs and jabs.
Have I done it or have you done it with your fencing and your Latin? Right? That's it. That's not me. That's true. It's not my fault that you went to school that did fencing and Latin.
I didn't do Latin at school. Latin is a thing that exists.
Yeah.
Fencing, I did.
I don't know what to say. I never told people you went to private school because you didn't. I've never lied.
But you've been like, oh, look at your little Latin stuff.
Yeah, a little Latin boy. You speak Latin. It's not my fault that your reality implies private school. That's an issue that you need to take up with yourself.
with my school that I went to. I'm like, you should go private, by the way.
Yeah, this is not
because this stuff is off the hook.
I'm sorry that I hold you accountable for reality, but that's. I'm sorry if that has upset you. Ross did not go to private school. Not that I've ever claimed he did, but I will clarify he did not go to private school. He just went to a very, very posh,
incredibly.
School.
It wasn't.
Anyone could go there, but the only people that did had money. That's just a coincidence, though.
Drop it.
I don't know what you want from me. I only know these stories from you as well. Like what would you?
No, there was a thing. It's a bit like the Will Wheaton thing. It just got a little bit too like. You kept meant to be like, Ross. He did Latin. He did Latin. I didn't do Latin at school. I've never done Latin in any context.
I thought you did.
Latin is a concept. Like it's ancient Greek, Latin. You can figure things out.
Yeah, I can.
Because that's how words work.
Yeah, I understand.
I've never done that.
Okay, I didn't know that. I apologize for ever implying or saying.
But I am incredibly rich and posh.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, earlier tonight you talked about your family ski trip and said
into Bulgaria.
I had no part in that.
Mm.
So maybe the reason people think that you had a posh upbringing is because of things you say.
Yeah, maybe I'm just
partly
Saltburn reference that I don't get. Apparently, I've got to wank into a bathtub or something. Who knows?
Again.
Yeah.
Malinky's
I know
watching.
I've already done it. Yeah.
Malinky won't like that.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. No. Do you think that people in the community think that you're privately educated?
Oh yeah, definitely. When we started, I was kind of
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now nobody watches, so it doesn't matter.
It's taken you 3 years to have the courage to tell me that you didn't like that I implied you were privately educated.
No, I said it when we were doing it.
Right.
I just think it's funny. I just want to mention it. You know.
This is all to get away, by the way, for anyone who didn't follow what was happening there. This was all a huge deflection from the fact that I was saying Ross is good at stand-up and he should stop spreading the false narrative that he was bad at stand-up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And instead of tackling that head on, he was like, here's the worst thing you've ever done.
Big boy, small words. The concept of language. What is the concept of language? What is language? Let's talk about that. Whose language?
What?
What's language?
Miko said advice earlier. Ross said go fuck self as punchline. Me chuckled, then wrote message. That was pretty much it. I tried to give genuine life advice. Ross said go fuck yourself, and then said he was bad at stand up and not privately educated. And those are the takeaways from this.
But maybe I am privately educated, because we're all privately educated. Because what happened? And
I paid my taxes.
You pay your
for
taxes.
you to go to your school.
So what happens is, I pay
for everyone's education, not just my kids.
You pay for your kids' education.
I went to obviously a really, really rough school.
Crazy school, yeah.
And then a pretty nice school for the last 2 years. My hires were done in St Margaret's Academy. We didn't do fencing, but it was pretty posh.
Close enough.
For where
we touched knives.
Yeah, we had they had a squash court, which my first school definitely didn't.
Wait, what is squash?
Squash is where you hit a ball against the wall.
Ah, that's not a court. That's that's a small room.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a half room.
Yeah. So it's so yeah. My second school is a bit more posh, but I understand, and obviously I work in school, so I've worked in. But my favourite is when I go to Liverpool. The two schools that always book me every time I'm in Liverpool. One is a technology college, which is just a high school that's very posh but not private. So they've all got blazers and stuff. But it's not a private school, but it is posh. Like everyone there's got money. But the other one that always books me is a prison school, which is definitely not posh and definitely I suppose it's kind of private, but invitation only. And yeah, it's fun going into, and obviously I work in private schools and stuff as well. Down Bath Way, Prior Park booked me a lot, and they're a very, very, very fancy school, and I like working in all these different places and seeing the differences and stuff. But yeah, no, you're someone I talk about a lot because one of my few prejudices I really have is against middle class people that don't accept their middle class. I find that very difficult to deal with. And I've always appreciated about you that you understood that you came from a relatively privileged upbringing, and that doesn't define you, but that's also something to acknowledge. And that's all it takes. It's not that much when you break it down, but a lot of people really struggle with that. A lot of people are like, no, I'm not middle class. Like, you are. You don't know what working class means. You don't know what being the underclass means. You don't understand what it's like to not know where your next meal is coming from or how you're going to pay bills. Like, that's not a thing. And I don't hate you for that. Like, that would be crazy. That would be stupid. But it's important that you acknowledge that. And a lot of people don't. And I struggle with those people. I really struggle with people that almost fetishize poverty, that want to be part of the struggle and cosplay as working class people. They like to talk about their rough upbringing when they didn't have it. I find that very offensive and I don't like it. And you've never done that, and I respect that about you.
I'd like to point out though as well, which I have no idea if this is on stream or not, but when you start to, I was down here like yeah. And the more you said, you were like, oh yeah, I was like, oh shit.
I was talking about respect
shit.
you felt like you needed to correct your posture.
You're a white man who's like had a good, and then I was like, I should probably like care about what you're saying.
It's okay. You've known me long enough that you don't need to listen to the things I say.
Awful business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we end the stream?
We should end the stream. It's probably the best thing to do. Bless you all for being here.
And to all a good night.
And to all a good mum. We'll give her a little second to see if anyone is actually
Thank you,
here.
especially to people that came back, that were here for the first part of the stream.
Oh yeah,
when we had to reset Rossi's
for
computer,
like an hour,
which takes a while because he has set his computer to open up every program on startup.
None of them are.
No, that's just the thing that happens. Does anyone have any final questions or comments before we leave?
Yeah, what is God? Is God a thing?
Now or forever hold your peace.
Is God a thing?
What was your first question to God? That was
that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Thank you.
It's not. It's not. He's not God.
I riffed the what would be your first question to God thing. I'm quite proud of that. That's quite a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I also riffed, but I don't think we were recording at the time. I think it was during the thing that I also liked. I'm going to try and remember. Of the ADHD metaphor of running around a track with holes in your pockets.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty strong metaphor.
Yeah.
And I just riffed it, so I'm going to try and remember that one.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. All right, no one's spoken, so you're all dead to us.
Forever hold your peace. We're gonna get married, and you can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
I notice you're dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Are we? Is this the way?
We are.
forward now?
Wait. Is someone?
We're
done a
allowed to
thing?
do that. So I
Is
guess it's the way forward.
that? Oh, sorry. Oh, Pete. Like, yes.
I'm not
Sorry.
in control. So it's this,
I was
it's this
literally
guy.
about to press the button. Yes, we're allowed to do that now.
Yeah.
Everyone is. You are. It's not made any difference.
If
I
anyone's
don't
been
know.
speaking to us on YouTube, I apologise. I don't have the YouTube chat up. I think Ross has got a thing that shows both, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've got the double E whammy thing, but
Also, I've given him lots of whiskey, so
nobody likes us. That's the thing.
this is.
I
I'm gonna
know
have
it's
to
just
give him cuddles and tell him he's special
yeah.
now. This is why we need to end. He's gotten to the point where he's like, I'm rubbish at stand up, and everyone hates me, and now he's dragged me into it. Nobody likes us. Excuse me. Yeah, you don't feel good about that, do you? You feel bad. You feel put on the spot. Yeah.
Uh-oh, man's in trouble. All right.
Good night, everyone. Bless
Good
your
night.
faces.
Bye-bye.